Well, friends, this broadcast is authorized under broadcasting rights granted by the Brooklyn National League Baseball Club, Incorporated, solely for the entertainment of our listening audience. And any publication, rebroadcast, or other use of the descriptions and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Brooklyn National League Baseball Club, Incorporated, is prohibited. Well, tonight, Chicago Cubs in town to open up a 3-day series here with the Dodgers. Tomorrow night's game will be at Roosevelt Stadium, and Thursday they'll come back here to wind up the set. Moving in on Friday, Saturday, and for a doubleheader Sunday, the Cincinnati Redlegs. The Dodgers have a 3-0 record against the Cubs this year with 2 victories at Ebbets Field and 1 at Wrigley Field. 2 of the ball games in the Western City, of course, were postponed because of bad weather. The Brooklyn record, by the way, against the Western clubs this year is 10-6. 5-4 at home and 5-2 away. That victory in Chicago was posted by young Sandy Koufax, who blazed by 13 strikeouts in that ball game to get a 3-2 win. The 2 runs against Sandy by the Cubs were unearned in that one. Koufax will go to the firing line tonight, and opposing will be a young right-hander named Richard Fred Drott, known by his teammates as Dick Drott, purchased by the Cubs from Los Angeles on March the 5th this year. He's a big right-hander who is from Cincinnati. Last year with Los Angeles on the coast, he won 13, lost 10, and had an earned run average of 4.39. So it'll be Drott going against Koufax, Sandy Koufax the left-hander, and Dick Drott with the right-hander. Let's give you a rundown now on the batting orders for the 2 ball clubs. Leading off for Chicago, at second base will be Bobby Morgan. Left field, Speak. At third base will be Banks. In center field will be Walls. Ernega, the right fielder. Ernaga, a newcomer who has made quite an impressive start with Chicago. Dale Long at first base. Neiman, the catcher. Luttrell at shortstop, and Dick Drott to do the pitching. For the Dodgers, Amoros in left field. Gilliam at second base. Duke Snyder in center. Gino Samoli in right field. Hodges at first. Campanella catching. Charlie Neal at third. Don Zimmer at short, and Sandy Koufax to do the pitching. The umpires for tonight's game will be Gorman at the plate, Dixon, Burkhart, and Dusty Boggess on the bases. Well, it's a fine night for a ball game. Still plenty of seats available here at Ebbets Field for this series opener, which welcomes the Dodgers back home after a long road trip. They went to the West and had the trip broken by a 3-day stand here against the Giants, and went back into Pennsylvania for a 9-game series. So it'll be the Dodgers and the Cubs as the Western invasion begins for the second time this year. Still plenty of seats here at Ebbets Field. A fine night for a ball game, so if you're in the neighborhood, make your plans and come on over and see one. Koufax has stopped his warm-ups now, and he's about ready to go, but the big Chicago right-hander, Dick Drott, is still firing away off to our left. Brooklyn on this homestand plays 15 games against the West, including 2 games at Jersey City. Tomorrow night against Chicago and June 10th against Milwaukee. There'll be 2 Sunday doubleheaders in the set. June 9th against Cincinnati, that'll be this coming Sunday. And then a week from Sunday against the St. Louis Cardinals on Father's Day. The Dodgers take the field now, and we'll remind you to be sure and pick up your tickets for those 2 big doubleheaders coming up. Sunday, June 9th. The Dodgers and the Cincinnati Redlegs, and Sunday, June 16th, with St. Louis. So the Chicago Cubs, Milwaukee Braves, Cincinnati Redlegs, and St. Louis Cardinals come to Ebbets Field, while the Dodgers here hope to make hay and gain a little ground in the National League standings. Going out to play now at third base, Charlie Neal. At shortstop, Don Zimmer. At second is Junior Gilliam, and at first, Gil Hodges. Sandy Amoros goes to left field, Duke Snyder to center, and Gino Samoli to right. Campanella catching, Koufax pitching, and now our national anthem. it's about time to play ball. The Dodgers are on the field defensively, and the Chicago Cubs will start off with Morgan, Speak, and Banks to face left-hander Sandy Koufax. And I imagine the Cubs remember that last outing against Koufax when 13 fanned the breeze. Koufax firing down a few to Roy Campanella, and we'll have this one underway in just a moment. The Dodgers currently in third place in a tie with Milwaukee in the National League standings, 3 games off the top, and a half a game behind the Philadelphia Phils, who are in second. The Dodgers on this long homestand coming up against the Western clubs hope to pick up some ground. Koufax about ready now. Still pumping him into Roy Campanella. Fine evening for a ball game, and again we ask you, if you're in the neighborhood, come on out to Ebbets Field and take this one in. It ought to be a good game between 2 fine young pitchers, Dick Drott for the Cubs and Sandy Koufax for the Brooklyn Dodgers. The bullpen crew going down right field for the Dodgers. Stepping into the batter's box, the Chicago leadoff man Bobby Morgan, and stepping into the microphone for the F&M Schaefer Brewing Company and for the play-by-play, here's Vin Scully. Vin?
Thank you, Jerry, and good evening, everybody. And despite the fact that I have just knocked a cup of coffee in my lap and a suit that's just out of the cleaners, it's great to be home. Bobby Morgan, Bob Speak, and Ernie Banks in the first inning. So Sandy Koufax, a belated starter with Magley, the announce pitcher, out, and Koufax gets over the strike, 0-1. Morgan batting .281. He has a run batted in. The lights have not as yet taken complete effect. Koufax trying to use that to his advantage now. Comes back with a fastball that's cut on and missed, 0-2. You see that happen a lot in ball games, especially night games, or out at Chicago at the tail end of a game. The pitcher will rely more on his fastball. 0-2, the count to Bobby Morgan. Koufax ready. Curveball is cut on and fouled away, 0-2. The F&M Schaefer Brewing Company of Brooklyn, delighted to be sending it to you. Hope things are going just right for you, wherever you may be. Have a pretty good breeze blowing from the right field corner, slanting over to the left field corner. Strike 2 pitch. Slow curve, got him swinging. Sandy Koufax, the last time he faced the Chicago Cubs out at Wrigley Field, you no doubt remember, he struck out 13. Going into tonight's ball game, he had 47 strikeouts. He's second man in the league, one back of Luis Arroyo of the Pirates. And now by striking out Bobby Morgan, Koufax now ties Arroyo. Bob Speak batting .243 with 3 home runs and 11 runs batted in. 1 out in the first inning, no score. Koufax ready and comes to the plate. Fastball inside, ball 1. Tommy Gorman calling the balls and strikes. Hal Dixon at first, Kenny Burkhardt at second, and Dusty Bodjes at third. Koufax staring in to get his sign. Campanella wigwags it out to him now. Neal in on the grass at third. The 1-0 pitch. Too high, ball 2. 2-0. Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs opening up a big stand here at Ebbets Field tonight and over at Jersey City tomorrow night. Don Drysdale will do the pitching for Brooklyn tomorrow evening. 2 balls, no strikes to Bob Speak. 1 out in the first inning, no score. Koufax right back, and the fastball is inside, ball 3. 3-0. Koufax at this moment, and of course it's only the second batter, is not nearly as fast as he was in Chicago. However, he's trying to loosen up, and right now he bent over and tried to touch his toes. 3-0 the count. Sandy ready and delivers. Fastball low, ball 4. So Bob Speak draws the walk with 1 out in the first inning. Ernie Banks batting .231. He has 5 home runs, 15 runs batted in. Out on deck, Lee Walls. Sandy Koufax and Roy Campanella, the Dodger battery. Koufax takes a peek at first, checks again and goes over there, and Speak, just off the bag, steps back. Hodges, Gilliam, Zimmer, and Neal, the outfield of Amaro, Snyder, and Simoli. Koufax had another look at first. Now the fastball is bunted up along the third base line and goes foul. 0-1 to Ernie Banks. Well, what have you been doing while we were away on the road through the state of Pennsylvania? You have a nice Memorial Day weekend and a big holiday? Hope you did. And I certainly hope you'll be making your plans to pay us a visit. Come on out to the ballpark. Be home for a while now, and the entire West will come storming in. And the highlight invasions, of course, by Cincinnati and Milwaukee. So we'll be looking forward to seeing you out here at the ballpark. Banks waiting, 0-1 the count. Koufax bends a curve, and it's cut on and missed, strike two. Sandy took a little off that, and Banks out in front. We have confirmation of the Chicago Cub pitcher for tomorrow night, Don Kaiser. So it'll be Don Kaiser and Don Drysdale tomorrow night at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. Banks waiting, 0-2 the count. Koufax goes to a stretch and pulls it down. Now the strike two pitch, fastball high, ball one. 1-2. The Dodgers, for many, many reasons, are happy to be home. Not the least of which, extra time for batting practice. They've been out here quite a while today trying to get their eye back. Throw to first, Bob Speak back. You know, when you're the visiting ball club and you get into a hitting slump, it's pretty tough to correct it. For you only have a half hour of batting practice as a visitor. Home club can bat all day if they want. 1-2 pitch, fastball, got him swinging, and that thing was moving. So maybe Koufax is starting to loosen up a little bit. It wasn't very fast to Morgan or Speak, but that last strike to Ernie Banks had something on it. So he now has 2 strikeouts in the first inning. He is now 1 ahead of Luis Arroyo. Koufax now with 49 strikeouts. Lee Walls batting .226. 10 runs batted in. 2 out in the first inning, no score. Bob Speak at first base. Sandy Koufax and Dick Drott in this one. Koufax takes a peek at first. Now left hand's a fastball in there that's cut on and foul to the right of the plate and close to the dugout. Campanella comes over to the lip of the dugout and he has no play. Ball finally winds up about 4 rows back of the dugout. Won the count. Young G.I. with his gal got that foul ball, proudly presented it to her. Like to see that in the ballpark. Another thing you like to see is a father catch a foul ball and hand it to his little son. That's my pop. Walls waiting, 0-1 the count. Koufax now ready and decides to go to first again and Speak right back to the bag. Just the start of things, so pull up a comfortable chair. If you want to take your shoes off, go ahead. Wiggle your toes, and we hope you'll have a cold shaver or two throughout the evening. Dodgers and Cubs opening up the homestand. Koufax set. Now the strike one pitch. Slow curve, a little high, just off the target, where Tom Gorman started to bring his right hand up and then quickly snapped it back to his side. 1 ball, 1 strike. Koufax set, another look at first. Again he goes over there, and Bob Speak, who has not been having much of a lead, driven back to the bag again. Lee Walls waiting. Koufax ready. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed, and that was moving. 1-2. Well, one thing I'm pretty sure about this stage of the game now, Koufax has loosened up. He appeared to be a little stiff pitching to Morgan, even though he struck him out. Pinwheeled his arms around, did a couple of knee bends. Now he's starting to pitch with a loose motion. 1-2, the count to Lee Walls. 2 out in the first inning, no score. Koufax set, takes a peek at Speak, comes to the plate with a curve and misses high. 2-2. Freddie Fitzsimmons coaching at first for Chicago. Round at third, George Myatt. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Koufax set and delivers. Fastball cut on is a high pop fly and a very shallow right center. In fact, Gilliam's going out and calling. Samoli trotting in behind him, and Gilliam takes it for the out. So in the first inning, no runs, no hits. There was one walk. One man left on. Koufax strikes out 2. At the end of half an inning, Chicago nothing, and the Dodgers coming up. Coming up right now with the Schaefer scoreboard, Jerry Doggett.
Well, Vinny, there's a lot of activity going on tonight in the major leagues. Milwaukee playing the Giants at the Polo Grounds. Cron going against Miller. Cincinnati at Philadelphia. Lawrence against Haddix. St. Louis at Pittsburgh. It'll be Schmidt against Smith. And those St. Louis Smiths are still getting together. Bob Smith, who formerly was with the Cardinals, pitching tonight for Pittsburgh, and Willard Schmidt going for St. Louis. In the American League, the Yankees play at Cleveland. Sturdivant going against Daly. Boston and Chicago out at Chicago. Sullivan or Stifler against Pierce. Washington at Detroit. It'll be Clevenger against Moss. And Baltimore and Kansas City, Lowe's against Morgan. The games, of course, Chicago, Detroit, and Kansas City will be somewhat behind us. Chicago-Detroit game will start at 9 o'clock New York time, and the Kansas City game will be at 10 o'clock. The Yankee-Cleveland game about to get underway. Our score at the end of the half inning of play, 0-0. The Dodgers coming on, so let's get back to play, and here's Vin.
Sandy Ambrose, who's doing a fine job spelling Carl Perillo. Though Ambrose is playing in left field, he got into the lineup because of Perillo's stiff neck. Ambrose batting .320. He has 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. Ambrose followed by Jim Gilliam and then Duke Snyder. Dick Drott, D-R-O-T-T, loosening up right now. Richard Frederick Drott, to be exact. He throws hard. He has 46 strikeouts. So if you're keeping score, we'll probably be putting a few Ks in the book tonight. Koufax recorded 2 in the first inning. Now we'll find out about Dick Drott. Ambrose wiggling that bat back of his left ear, settles in the hitter's box, and here we go to the last of the first. Drott delivers, fastball outside, ball 1. In fact, anytime you go into Chicago, come to think of it, especially in the spring or in the fall, when you don't get that bright sunshine for too long, and you run into Drott, Grabowski, or Kaiser, you could be in for quite a sad afternoon. The 1-0 pitch to Ambrose. He runs up as if to bunt and takes it inside, ball 2. 2-0. Some fine young ball players coming into their own this year. It's always a good sign for the league and for baseball. Drott ready. Now the 2-0 pitch to Ambrose. In there. Looked like he changed up on it. 2-1. Dodgers, of course, proud of their 3 youngsters. Johnny Padres, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale. For that matter, Gino Samoli, too. Drott gets his sign now. Dick ready, and the 2-1 pitch to Ambrose. Fastball uppercutted, and a high pop fly. Ernie Banks calling, waiting. He's got it. 1 out. Jim Gilliam, who must be very happy to be back here in Brooklyn. He's had trouble, needs extra batting practice. He's hitting .251, 10 runs batted in. On deck, Duke Snyder. Ernie Banks wide of the bag at third, but on the edge of the infield grass. Dick Drott goes to work now. The right-hander comes with a fastball and gets it over for the strike. Going 1. Jake Butler coaching at first. Around at third, Billy Herman. Drott right back again. The strike 1 pitch, a breaking ball. It's down low, 1-1. One ball, 1 strike. Drott delivers 1-1. The curveball breaks low and inside. Ball 2, 2-1. It might be a slider. It's not that sharp curveball. Just seems to break in a little bit and drop. 2 balls, 1 strike to Jim Gilliam. 1 out, bottom of the first inning, no score. Drott ready, and the 2-1 pitch. Fastball just outside, ball 3. 3-1. Snyder waiting on deck. Drott ready, and the 3-1 pitch to Gilliam. Fastball high, and Junior's on. So with one out, Gilliam draws the walk, and it brings up the Duke. And a trouble Duke he is, with a .245 batting average. He's still hitting the long ball. He has 9 home runs to lead the club, and 20 runs batted in. Out on deck, Gino Cimoli. One out, bottom of the first inning, no score. Gilliam at first base. Snyder waiting at the plate now. Drott for the first time having to work from a stretch position. Dick comes set, a peek at first. Now he works the plate. Sharp curve outside. Ball 1, 1-0. One ball, no strikes. Drott ready. Now the 1-0 pitch. Snyder looks at a fastball. It's down low. Ball 2, 2-0. Dick Drott, as we said, a strikeout man. He has struck out 46 thus far this year. And the high for him, which is also a league high, Dick Drott struck out 15 in one ball game. The other two close to that, Koufax and Roberts, have each struck out 13. Drott delivers 2-0 to Snyder, and the fastball is high. Ball 3, 3-0. That 15 strikeout performance by Dick Drott is also now a Chicago club record. No pitcher in the history of the Cubs ever struck out that many men in one game. And he's 20 years old. No, he should be around Chicago for quite a while. 3 balls and no strikes to Snyder. Drott ready and delivers. Fastball outside. Ball 4. And so the fellow who can fire that baseball currently has trouble with control, too, and he has walked 2 men with 1 out in the first inning. And here's Gino Cimoli, who's certainly been carrying the banner for Brooklyn throughout the West and then, of course, in Pennsylvania. He was hurt on the Western trip, but he still had that red-hot batting average, and he brings up a .346 average to the plate. In his last 11 ball games, Cimoli has batted .432. Well, you spell his name in capital letters. Gino Cimoli. Gilliam coming away from second. Snyder from first. 1 out, bottom of the first inning, no score. From Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. Dick Drott ready, checks his runners and delivers. Fastball inside, ball 1. Cimoli continues to look around at Billy Herman in case there might be something up in the air. A good batter will always check with his third base coach, not just on a 2-0 and 3-0 count. 1 ball, no strikes. Dick Drott ready. Another look to his base runners and comes to the plate and misses again. Down low. Ball 2. 2-0. Now Dale Long comes over from first to have a few words, and Bob Sheffing going out to the mound to see just what's wrong with Dick Drott. Long leaves the mound, and Sheffing, the next catcher, going out to try and settle his young pitcher. Dick Drott and Cal Neiman, the battery. Dale Long, Bobby Morgan, Jack Luttrell, Ernie Banks in the infield. The outfield, Bob Speake, Lee Walls, and the right fielder, Frank Ernega. Cimoli waiting, 2 balls, no strikes. Dick Drott comes set now, checks his runners, and the 2-0 pitch to Cimoli. Down low, ball 3. Drott, as far as his record is concerned, with 46 strikeouts, he had walked 28 men. For a fellow who throws that hard, that's very good. But he's having his problems here. 1 pitch away from loading up the bases. The 3-0 pitch to Cimoli, barreled in there for a strike. 3-1. Gilliam, hands on his hips, a short lead off second. Snyder inching away off first. 1 out in the first inning, in case you might have just dropped by. No score. Drott set, checks his man. Now the 3-1 pitch. Fastball is in there again. Strike 2. Oh, Dick Drott has gone to a full count, and now with one out, Samoli and Messrs. Gilliam and Snyder on the base paths take a look over at third base coach Billy Herman. See if they play a little run and hit or not. Drott looks down the barrel to get his sign. Neiman wigwags it out to him. The runners go. The 3-2er is cut on and fouled away down the right field line on top of the roof and out of the ballpark. So the kids who are listening to the ball game on the soda pop stands outside, you run that one down almost to Bedford Avenue. Full count to Samoli. The runners were going on the pitch. We'll see what they do this time. Dick Drott shaking no. Now he's ready. Checks his runners. They go. The 3-2 cut on, foul tipped and held by Neiman, and his throw goes into left field. Gilliam is up, comes to the plate, and Snyder goes to third. So Samoli strikes out. What happened was he foul tipped the ball right into the webbing of Neiman's glove, and the young catcher, in such a hurry to get his man at third, threw the ball into left field. So Samoli strikes out. The runners advance to second and third, and Gilliam comes on in on the throwing error. And I imagine that they'll give them stolen bases on it. However, we will wait for the verdict of the official scorer. Both Snyder and Gilliam given credit for stolen bases, and then Gilliam comes in to score on the catcher's overthrow, Snyder advancing to third. Dodgers lead 1-0 here in the first inning. 2 out, and Gil Hodges steps in. Sharp curve in and over for a strike. 0-1. Brooklyn 1, Cubs 0. Bottom of the first inning. Duke Snyder coming down off third with 2 out. Hodges batting .344. Drott ready, and the strike one pitch. Fastball a little low. Hodges dropped his back foot back and slid that bat between his hands as if he was going to bunt. Snyder started to come down the line, then retreated. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gil's been red hot in his last 16 ball games. He's hit at a .403 clip. Drott to his windup now. The 1-1 pitch to Gil. Fastball low. Ball 2. 2-1. So 2 walks, a double steal, and a throwing error by catcher Cal Neiman, and Brooklyn leads 1-0. 2-1 to count to Gil Hodges. Drott ready, the 2-1 pitch. Fastball low and outside, ball 3. On deck, Roy Campanella. Still no action in the Chicago bullpen early in the ball game, and they'll go with a fellow who can throw as well as Drott. 3-1 pitch to Hodges. Slow curve, missed inside, ball 4. So Hodges walks, the third walk given up by Dick Drott. Runners at first and third with 2 out, and it brings up Roy Campanella. Campanella, batting .239, has 7 home runs, 22 runs batted in. Camp settling in the hitter's box now. Drott having a rough first inning. At least control-wise, he's been charged with only 1 run. Checks his runners and delivers to Campy, and the fastball is at his knees for a strike. 0-1. 2 out, bottom of the first inning. Runners at first and third. Brooklyn leads 1-0. Campy just waiting. Drott staring in. Now the right-hander ready, and the strike one pitch. Curveball that backs Campanella out of there. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're happy to salute our Schaefer Award winners for the week, Johnny Padres and Gino Samoli. Samoli's been a big winner. He'll probably end up with half the brewery at the rate he's going. Drott set. And the 1-1 pitch to Campy. Curve outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Have some wonderful gifts, you know, Schaefer Awards. All kinds of home appliances and radios, wearing blenders and mixers and things like that. Luggage. Campanella waiting, 2 balls, 1 strike. Drott delivers 2-1 to Roy. Fastball, and that's low, ball 3. So Dick Drott having trouble with his control now. He's walked 3 men here in the first inning. 1 run is over. He might have been out of it had the ball not stuck in Neiman's web. However, once it did that, and the young catcher made a hurried throw, went into left field. 3-1 pitch to Campanella. Fastball cut on a high drive to deep right field. Back goes Onega. This one's going to be off the side of the scoreboard and bounding away. In comes Snyder. Right back of him is Hodges on a stand-up double by Campanella. Frank Onega, E-R-N-A-G-A, 26-year-old right fielder. This was the first time he has ever played at Ebbets Field. And many a right fielder has spent a sleepless night thinking about that concave wall and the many-sided scoreboard. And that thing took the wrong carom as far as Onega was concerned. Bounced all the way over near the foul line. So Campanella doubles high off the Schaefer scoreboard to right, drives in 2 more. And the Dodgers now lead 3-0 in the first inning. Campanella now has 24 runs batted in. Roy at second, Charlie Neal the batter with 2 out, and the fastball comes low, ball 1. Bob Sheffing, going along with his young pitcher, finally stands up in front of his dugout and motions with his right hand to get somebody loose down there in the bullpen. They didn't see him, and he now finds out about the telephone, so he'll ring. Curve to Charlie Neal, in for the strike, 1-1. So they are moving around now in the Chicago bullpen. Brooklyn 3 runs on 1 hit. Throwing error by catcher Neiman, got 1 run over, and Campanella has just doubled in 2. The 1-1 pitch now to Neal, cut on and missed, 1-2. Neal waiting, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 out in the first inning, 3-0 Brooklyn. Campanella coming away off second base. Now the 1-2 pitch to Neal is cut on and missed, strike 3. So Charlie goes down, and that closes out the first inning. So both starting pitchers with reputations of being strikeout men, and each starter has struck out 2 men in the first inning. However, Koufax walked just 1 man and got out of the first inning. Dick Drott is charged with 3 runs on 1 hit, a double steal, a costly throwing error, and 1 man left on. At the end of 1 inning, Brooklyn 3, Chicago 0. Now let's hear from Jerry.
Well, now, while the field changes hands, let's have a couple of young friends take the spotlight. How about it?
For real enjoyment,
Hello.
get Schaefer beer. For real enjoyment, ask for Schaefer.
It's real beer.
For real refreshment,
Say it.
get Schaefer beer.
Yeah.
For real refreshment, ask for Schaefer.
It's real beer. That's a real trumpet. That's real beer.
For real enjoyment, get Schaefer beer. For real enjoyment, ask for Schaefer.
It's real beer.
All right, set to play ball in the second inning. Let's go right back to the action, and here again is Vin Scully.
Frank Onega, E-R-N-A-G-A. He's come up from Portland and has certainly give the Cubs some power. He's batting .353. He's only 17 at-bats. Frank Onega. First pitch to him, down low, ball 1. Frank with 6 hits, has 2 home runs, 2 triples, and a double. Extra base hits. Right-hand batter. E-R-N-A-G-A. Koufax ready, and the 1-0 pitch. Fastball in for the strike. 1-1. It's a good thing Nargo was not... It's a good thing he wasn't a girl, because he would have been upset about the age that they first announced about him. Woo, they said he was 37. He's 26. The 1-1 pitch, fastball just low, ball 2, 2-1. Be followed by Dale Long and then catcher Cal Neiman. Giants in Milwaukee, a 1-1 tie at the end of an inning and a half. Koufax ready. Now the 2-1 pitch. Fastball in there. Strike 2. In that ball game, Ray Cohn and Stu Miller for the Giants, a 1-1 tie at the end of an inning and a half. Frank Torrey hit a home run for the Braves. Willie Mays hit a home run for the Giants. Arnego waiting now. The 2-2 pitch. Fastball got him swinging. That is the third strikeout for Sandy Koufax and brings up Dale Long. Long batting .243, has 5 home runs, 16 runs batted in. Long, powerful left-hand batter, formerly with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Out on deck, Cal Neiman. First pitch to Long, in and over for a strike, on 1. As soon as Dale has had his at-bats, we'll duck in a station break. Koufax right back again, and the slow curve is just outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the second inning, 1 out, bases empty. Brooklyn 3 and Chicago nothing. Koufax winds, a 1-1 pitch, fastball, cut on, 1-2. Koufax bends at the waist to get his sign from Campanella. Now he's ready. 1-2 pitch, slow curve down low, 2-2. Philadelphia Phillies leading Cincinnati 1-0 at the end of an inning and a half. I mean, those Phils are rough. Long waiting, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Koufax delivers, fastball inside, right at the knuckles, ball 3. Full count. Koufax nods in agreement with Campanella. Now he's ready. 3-2 pitch, fastball fouled away. The lights are beginning to take effect now here at the ballpark. Funny, when the lights go on, the gray sky up ahead now appears to be nice and blue. Much nicer looking evening. Full count to Dale Long. Koufax ready. Sandy winds in the 3-2. Fastball on the corner. Called strike 3, and Dale Long is caught looking. Jaws away with Tom Gorman, but let us pause now for station identification. This is the
Dial 1460 WOKO for the Brooklyn Dodgers games, and write to WOKO for the complete Dodgers schedule of games at home and away. Yours free for the asking. Be sure to give your name and address. Write Baseball WOKO, Albany, New York.
And New York.
All right, back at Ebbets Field. 2 out in the second inning. Cal Neiman, the batter, and the first pitch in for the strike, 0-1. Was a very troubled and bitter Dale Long who left the plate. He took his helmet off and fired it about 25 feet along the box seats. The bat boy had to run down the line to get it. Koufax has now struck out 4 men in an inning and 2/3. Sandy right back. And it looked like he changed up and ballooned it too high. 1-1. Cal Neiman batting .267. He has 6 home runs, 15 runs batted in. One and one. Koufax looks into Campanella. Roy blinks signs out to him. Now the 1-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. 1-2. Sandy Koufax now has 51 strikeouts to be the leader. He has passed Arroyo. Koufax checking again. 1-2 the count. Sandy hides that ball back of his left hip. Now he's ready. 1-2 pitch. Change curve. Fouled at the plate and squirts away from Campanella. Roy got stung by it a little. Hit him off the right knee. 1-2 the count to Cal Neiman. Remember tomorrow night at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, Don Kaiser and Don Drysdale. The 1-2 pitch to Neiman. Fastball got him swinging. He struck out the side. Sandy Koufax has now struck out 5 men in 2 innings. Remember the last time he faced the Cubs, he struck out 13. At the end of an inning and a half, Brooklyn 3, Chicago nothing. Now here's Jerry.
You want a glass of beer? You want a good glass of beer? You want a great glass of beer? Brother, you want a glass of Schaefer beer. Because Schaefer's brewed for enjoyment. That's why. That's the whole story in a nutshell. Schaefer is brewed to give you all the enjoyment, all the light, zesty flavor, all the brilliant sparkle and zing you look for when you lift a glass of beer to your lips. And when you lift a glass of Schaefer, man, it's sunlight on a drift of snow. Cool and white and wonderful. You try it yourself. First time a thirst catches up with you. For real enjoyment, pour out a foaming glass of Schaefer. You'll see, it's real beer. The Dodgers come on with Zimmer, Koufax, and Amaro first to appear against Dick Drott. And the battle of the strikeout artists goes on. Koufax now ahead 5-2. Dodgers leading 3-0. So let's get back to play, and here again is Vin.
Well, Don Zimmer will be first up. Then pitchers Sandy Koufax and Sandy Amaros. Bottom of the second, 3-0 Brooklyn. We understand at the agency that we now have a young girl writing commercial copy. And I'll bet you her fine hand was in that last one. Sunlight on a drift of snow. All right. Zimmer batting .229. He has 4 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Drott's fastball is uppercutted and fouled by. Cal Neiman on the run, stumbles. He doesn't have a play. Remains on his feet. 0-1 the count to Zimmer. Last of the second inning, 3-0 Brooklyn. Bottom of the second. Dick Drott looks in to get his sign. Zimmer bends at the knees a little bit more now. And the strike one pitch. Fastball cut on is a high foul to the right of the plate. Neiman coming back right to the lip of the Dodger dugout and can't make it. The ball lands on the roof. And somebody makes a great catch by the name of Barney Stein. Barney, who takes great sports photos for the New York Post. He is also the Brooklyn Dodgers official photographer. And that thing kangarooed from the dugout roof right up into the camera booth. And there was Barney to grab it. He dropped a $9,000 camera in the process. No, not really. 0-2. Fastball is outside, knocked down by Cal Neiman. 1 ball, 2 strikes. We're in the last of the second. Brooklyn 3, Chicago nothing. Everybody a little extra chipper tonight now that we're home. Drott to his windup and delivers. Curveball in there. Called strike 3. Zimmer knew it and walked away. That's the 3rd strikeout for Dick Drott, the 8th strikeout in the game, and we have 1 out in the bottom of the second. Now, the last time anything like this began was out at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Mo Drabowski struck out 8 men. Koufax struck out 13. The record, the total for a ball game, 24. The National is 23. So we'll keep an eye on it. Pitch to Koufax in for the strike, 0-1. On that particular day, the total of strikeouts tied the National League record, 23. We're starting to build up to something like that again tonight. Strike one pitch to Koufax. Up high, 1-1. But want to know who had the other two strikeouts? Turk Lown in relief. 1-1 to Sandy Koufax. Drott ready and delivers. Fastball cut on late and missed. 1-2. Koufax is 0 for 10, but he has shown progress. The last few times up, he's hit the ball and once or twice fairly well. Drott getting his sign. Koufax waiting. Now the 1-2 pitch to Sandy. Fastball got him. So down he goes. 4 strikeouts for Dick Drott. So that sword has 2 edges. Koufax been cutting down the Cubs, and now he nubs a finger himself. Koufax struck out all 3 men in the second inning. Drott has struck out 3 in a row as he faces Amorose here in the second. Drott ready and delivers. Slow curve in for the strike. Charlie Neal struck out to close out the first inning, and here in the second, Zimmer and Koufax have gone that way. So we're seeing plenty of strikeouts. Amorose batting .314 popped out in the first inning, 0 for 1. Drott delivers, fastball low, 1-1. At the end of 2 innings, we'll be ducking in scores all night long. The Phillies are leading Cincinnati 3-0 at the end of 2 innings. The Giants are leading Milwaukee 2-1 at the end of 2 innings. The Yankees leading Cleveland 3-1 at the end of an inning and a half. Slow curve fouled away at the plate, 1-2. Schaefer Beers sending it all to you. Hope you'll have a cold Schaefer while you're listening to the ball game. The 1-2 pitch now to Amorose. Fastball low, 2-2. We have 2 out in the second inning. We've had 9 strikeouts in the ball game. Koufax has struck out 5. Dick Drott has struck out 4. The 2-2 pitch to Amorose. Fastball just low, ball 3. 3-2. Drott is not overpowering. In fact, I don't think he even looks quite his weight. He's even 6, and he weighs 185 pounds. 3-2 pitch to Amorose. Outside, ball 4. So Sandy Amorose walks with 2 out in the second inning. It is the 4th walk given up by Dick Drott. Brooklyn 3, Chicago nothing, and the batter, Jim Gilliam. Jim walked in the first inning, was the front man on a double steal. Actually, it was a run and hit play, and Samoli struck out. And on the late throw to third, which went into left field, Gilliam picked himself up and came in to score. Jim batting .251. Drott up on the rubber now and comes set. Takes a peek at Amorose. 2 down. Comes to the plate, and the fastball is outside. Ball 1. I'll tell you one thing, when you're behind a pitcher like Dick Drott, and say the outfielders tonight, Bob Speak and Lee Walls and Frank Ornega, they really have to fight themselves to bear down and get a pitcher having trouble with control, and it's tough for the outfielders. The 1-0 pitch to Gilliam, cut on, a big bouncer right to Dale Long. He goes up the ladder to grab it and steps on the bag, and that's it. In the second inning, no runs, no hits. There was 1 man left on base. At the end of 2 innings of play, Brooklyn 3, Chicago nothing. Once again, a few words from Jerry.
Well, here's something you won't want to miss, friends. The largest musical event in the country. Music Under the Stars. June 19th at Ebbets Field. Part 1 will be an Israeli folk festival with the Goran Dancers and the Coopersmith Choral Group. Part 2 features the New York Philharmonic Orchestra with a Metropolitan Opera star as soloist. And Part 3 is a sparkling variety show with a show from the Copacabana and a host of your favorite stars, including Jerry Lewis. Get your tickets now at the Dodger ticket office or at Ebbets Field. The price range from $1 and up. Don't miss Music Under the Stars, June 19th, right here at Ebbets Field. Move along to the top of the third in just a moment with the shortstop for Chicago, Jack Luttrell, coming on, followed by Dick Drott, and then by the leadoff man, Bobby Morgan. Sandy Koufax now has 5 strikeouts. Dick Drott has 4. So we're really having one going here tonight. Dodgers 3, Cubs nothing. Top of the third. Back to action, and here again is Vin.
Jack Luttrell stepping in at batting 140 with 3 runs batted in. Want to spotlight something we forgot about before. Pay tribute to a fine group. Koufax checking his signs now with Campanella. Sandy winds and delivers. Fastball for a strike. On hand tonight, the typical Brooklyn family selected by the Brooklyn Historical Society. Mr. and Mrs. Gerald O'Donnell and their children are guests of the Dodgers tonight. Strike one pitch, the curve a little high, 1-1. Mr. and Mrs. O'Donnell and their family live at 2683 Atlantic Avenue in Brooklyn. And we're certainly happy to have them here. The 1-1 pitch to Jack Luttrell. Fastball outside. Ball 2. 2-1. Start of the third inning. Brooklyn 3, Chicago nothing. Sandy Koufax and Dick Drott. Koufax checking signs again with Campy. Now the 2-1 pitch. Fastball cut on and missed. 2-2. Well, I might have said earlier, when the first 2 batters up there, the Koufax appeared not to be loose. But now he is firing. He struck out the side in the second inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Luttrell, then pitcher Dick Drott, and leadoff man Bobby Morgan. Koufax ready now to his windup. The 2-2. Fastball got him swinging. So Luttrell strikes out. 4 strikeouts in a row for Koufax. He has struck out 6 men in 2 1/3 innings. In other words, 8 men have come to bat, and only 1 of them has hit the ball. That was Lee Walsh, who popped up. The other man walked. Curve is fouled away by pitcher Drott, 0-1. Drott batting .211. Koufax is remarkable with his strikeouts this year. Figure out how many innings he's pitched and then look at his strikeouts, you really start to shake your head. The strike one pitch to Drott. Curveball low, 1-1. Sandy has struck out 6 men tonight, thus far in 2 1/3 innings, to give him 53 strikeouts. Now let's check his innings. He's worked 44 and the 3rd inning. Struck out 53 men. The 1-1er. Fastball cut on and belted to left field. And back goes Ambrose, away back to the wall and grabs it, going away. So pitcher Dick Drott. It's a long fly ball to left center for the 2nd out. Bobby Morgan struck out in the 1st inning. Bob batting .277. Brooklyn 3, Chicago nothing in the 3rd inning. Campanella settling now back of the plate to hang out his signs. Morgan waiting. The outfield about straight away. Koufax sends him a fastball for a strike, 0-1. You know the record, of course, for the most strikeouts in one game. I'm pretty sure. At least you'd know the name of the fellow who did it. In one game. Well, he doesn't play anymore, but he just retired. Strike one pitch. Cut on, hit off the thumbs, and popped up into very shallow left. Ambrose comes running in, under it now, and takes it for the out. So Morgan pops out to shallow left field. The Cubs go out in order, 1, 2, 3. Koufax has retired the last 8 men in a row. The guy who struck out 18 was Bob Feller, and now here's Jerry.
You know, folks, the Schaefer people have been brewing their famous beer for 115 years now. It's America's oldest lager beer, but that doesn't mean you can't get it in the newest of containers. No, sir. The Schaefer people keep right up with the times. Take the handy Schaefer half-quart can, for instance. Designed for modern living. Trim and slim. It's a cinch to carry. A cinch to tuck away inside your refrigerator. Takes up hardly any room, and it cools in a flash, too. Inside, you've got 16 ounces of tasty pleasure. 2 full glasses of golden amber Schaefer beer. Perfect for young couples who like to share their fun. Old friends who want to clink glasses. anybody who's just plain thirsty. So next time you're out shopping, why not pick up a few six-packs of handy Schaefer half-quart cans? Each one holds 2 full glasses of real enjoyment. That's Schaefer beer, man. It's real beer. Last of the third, Duke Snyder, Gino Simoli, and Gil Hodges do up for Brooklyn. Score Dodgers 3, Cubs nothing. Back to play, and here again is Vin.
Talking about strikeouts now, since they might very well become a very important part of the game. Dick Drott has struck out 4. Sandy Koufax has struck out 6. The National League record for the total of strikeouts, 23 in a game. The American League record, 24. The most strikeouts by an individual in one game, Bob Feller, struck out 18. The National League record is 17 by Dizzy Dean. You might be thinking about those things, so we pass them along to you. All right, bottom of the third, 3-0 Brooklyn. Duke Snyder, Gino Simoli, and Gil Hodges. Snyder walked in the first inning, Duke batting .245. Drott has a sign now. Dick winds and delivers. Fastball cut on is a high drive to deep center field. Going away back near the bleachers. Just watching it, it's gone. Lee Walls just had to let her go. And the ball bounces out of the lower deck of the bleachers. Walls picks it up and throws it in the upper deck. Wind is a man hit a home run in the lower deck right now. Snyder hit a bullet into the seats. It bounced high in the air back onto the field. Walls caught it just as nice as you please and fired it upstairs in the upper deck. So Snyder hits his 10th home run, his 21st run batted in. The Dodgers lead 4-0, and Gino Simoli takes a pitch inside. It drives him out of there. Ball 1. That's only the second hit for Brooklyn. The other, a double by Campanella. Drott winds, and the 1-0 pitch to Simoli. A fastball outside. Ball 2. 2-0. Schaefer Beer sending you all the fun and excitement from Ebbets Field in Brooklyn. 4-0 Dodgers here in the third. The 2-0 pitch to Simoli. Fastball down low. Ball 3. 3-0. Drott winds, and the 3-0 pitch to Simoli. At his knees and over for the strike. 3-1. On deck, Gil Hodges. Brooklyn 4 runs on 2 hits. Chicago, no runs, no hits, 1 error. Then a throwing error by catcher Cal Neiman. 3-1 pitch. Fastball fouled away. Trickling on over into the Cub dugout. 3-2. Drott checks the signs. Now the 3-2 pitch to Simoli. Drives him back. High and tight. Ball 4. So Simoli walks. That is the 5th walk given up by Dick Drott. Koufax, who has struck out 6, has not walked a man. The batter, Gil Hodges, who walked in the first inning. Gil batting .344. Nobody out here in the third. Brooklyn 4, Chicago nothing. Drott looks in to get his sign. Right at the bag is Simoli, held on by Dale Long. Now the right-hander delivers. Fastball cut on and missed. 0-1. I think Hodges trying to go to right field that time, the way he moved his feet. He certainly had right fielder Frank Ornega thinking that way, for he was heading towards the foul line. 0-1 the count. One of the big reasons why Hodges is now a fine hitter, the fact that he's been able to hit that pitch to right. Strike 1 pitch to him. Curveball cut on it to left center. On the run coming over his walls. Bends down and traps the ball. Simoli is around second going to third and will beat the throw. And down to third goes Hodges. Lee Walls tried to backhand the ball at his ankles. And all he could do was trap it. So Hodges doubles. Simoli, of course, had to hold up and now gets as far as third. the Dodgers have 3 hits off Dick Drott, 2 doubles, and a home run. They have runners at second and third with nobody out, and the batter, Roy Campanella, who doubled in 2 runs in the first inning. Jim Brosnan gets up now in the Chicago bullpen and begins to loosen up. Big right-hander. Campanella hitting .245. The infield must play in tight now. Nobody out. Simoli at third, Hodges at second. 4-0 Brooklyn here in the third inning. They're trying to break it wide open. Drott to his windup and delivers, and Campanella is hit by the pitch in the ribs on the left side, just under his number. Doc Wendler comes out, and boy, that hurt. A fastball right in the ribs. So Campanella with his left hand holding his ribs, walking up along first. Walter Alston comes out now, and Wendler refuses to let Campanella walk. He stops him right there. Boy, that thing hurt. That was a sidearm fastball that just sailed right in at him and hit him right at the ribs. Roy bent over slightly, Doc Wendler with his arm around him. So more complications. You know, Rube Walker has a couple of stitches on his right hand. Campanella trying to breathe, and I imagine every time he does, there's a sharp bite of pain. Doc Wendler, Jake Fittler, and Walter Alston watching the catcher, still rubbing his left side. He has his back to us, but I'm pretty sure he got it right in the ribs. Roy wants to stay in the ball game. Starting to go to first now. Carl Erskine comes out to run for him, and Erskine continues on towards first base, so whether Campanella likes it or not, they want him to come out. Roy, of course, likes to play, but he's hurting. Yep, he got it on the left side, probably just under the heart. And Campanella comes out. He's walking a little better now, but boy, he was shaken up. So Dick Drott with a fastball. It's Campanella in the chest or the left side near the ribs, and he comes out. Erskine running for him. The bases are loaded. Nobody out. And the batter, Charlie Neal. The infield remains up tight. Simoli at third, Hodges at second, Erskine at first. Drott delivers fastball, cut foul to the roof and out of the ballpark. 0-1. Roy Campanella hit either in the just under the heart or around the ribs. Erskine running for him, and Rube Walker with a couple of stitches in his right hand will still come back into the ball game. Neal waiting. Drott winds, and the strike one pitch. Curve fouled away. 0-2. To Neal, nobody out, bases loaded, 4-0 Brooklyn in the third. Drott delivers, sidearm curve hit through the hole into left field for a base hit. In comes Simoli, right back of him is Hodges, and the Dodgers lead 6-0. So Charlie Neal bounces one through the drawn-in left side and drives in 2. The Dodgers didn't score this many runs in the entire trip through Pennsylvania. And here in the third inning, they lead 6-0. O'Neill with a base hit and 2 runs batted in. Bob Sheffing going out to the mound, and maybe we'll have a change right here. Simoli scoring from third base, Hodges coming in from second. That's the 4th hit of Dick Drott. Sheffing making his way out to the mound. Cal Neiman is there. Carl Erskine at second. Charlie Neal at first. Brooklyn 6 runs on 4 hits. Chicago, no runs, no hits. We're in the bottom of the third. Brooklyn scored 3 times in the first inning, 3 times in the third. And still nobody out here in the third. We'll have a change of pitches, and while we do have, supposing we duck in a station break, make everything legal. We'll pause the station identification. This is the Brooklyn Dodgers Radio Network.
For the tops and...
Dial 1460 WOKO for the Brooklyn Dodgers games, and write to WOKO for the complete Dodgers schedule of games at home and away. Yours free for the asking. Be sure to give your name and address. Write Baseball, WOKO, Albany, New York.
Well, back here at Ebbets Field, with the Dodgers leading 6-0, Dick Drott worked 2 innings plus. He relieved by Jim Brosnan. Drott in 2 innings plus gave up 6 runs. The runners at first and second also belonged to him. Drott 6 runs, 4 hits. He walked 5 men. Of course, that was his undoing. he hit one man, Campanella. And while we're talking about Campanella, wondering whether the ball hit him in the ribs or under the heart, we now have the report from the dugout that it hit him just under or over the heart, right around that area. It really stunned him. Well, Campanella out. Jim Brosnan warming up now to take over for Drott. He'll be pitching to Zimmer, Koufax, and Amoros. I'll give you Brosnan's record this year, but Jerry will tell you a little bit about him before we get back to the ballgame.
Jim's a pretty good-sized boy, Vinny. 6'4", weighs 215 pounds, and he was with Chicago last year. He won 5 and lost 9. He was with the Cubs for a brief while in 1954. He had a 1-0 record in the National League. He's been playing mostly in AA, AAA, and then in the major leagues for those 2 shots that we told you about, 1954 and last year with the Cubs. He was in 30 ball games, 5 wins and 9 losses. His lifetime major league record is 6-9. So Jim Brosnan now in to replace Dick Drott. Drott going out with a record of 3-5 and is now behind 6-0. In 2 innings plus, 6 runs, 4 hits, 4 strikeouts, and 5 walks. So Don Zimmer steps in now to face the new big right-hander. Let's get back to play, and here again is Vin.
Well, we'll add a new line to the history book on Jim Brosnan. This is his 12th appearance for the Cubs. He started once. He is 0-1 with the league. Brosnan, Jim Brosnan. Brooklyn 6, Chicago nothing. Nobody out in the 3rd inning. Carl Erskine running for Campanella at second. Charlie Neal had just chased in 2 runs with a base hitters at first. Don Zimmer struck out in the 2nd inning. Brosnan checks his runners. Now comes to the plate. Overhand fastball, cut on and missed. The ball gets away from Neiman, but not far enough for the runners to advance. 0-1 the count. In the Dodger bullpen, and gee, it could be quite a night. Joe Pignatano is a Brooklyn boy. He has not caught a pitch in the major leagues, and he's very close to it. He appeared as a pinch runner, but he's never been behind the plate. It wouldn't be a great thing to have the boy in the game tonight. If the Dodgers, with this comfortable lead of 6-0, might very well decide now to give him a chance. The 0-1 pitch to Don Zimmer. Curveball hits slowly to third. Banks up with it, goes back to Morgan. They get 1 on to first in time for the double play. And down to third goes Carl Erskine. So the double play, 5-4 to 3. Say, I'll tell you what, you might know the Pignatanos. If you do, maybe his wife taking care of the baby, not watching or listening to the ball game, give her a call. Looks like Joe's going to break into the major leagues tonight. Sandy Koufax coming up, struck out in the 2nd inning. He's 0 for 11. 2 out in the 3rd inning, 6-0 Brooklyn. Carl Erskine now at third base, running for Campanella. Brosnan winds and delivers, and the curveball a little high, ball 1. Pretty sure I saw Pignatano putting on the gear. Campanella hit under the heart with a fastball, had to come out. Rube Walker has a couple of stitches in his hand. He could play, but the Dodgers leading 6-0 in the 3rd might let Pignatano catch. Curve is down low, ball 2. That'd be real nice. 2 balls, no strikes. The 2-0 pitch to Koufax. He runs up and looks at it. It's in for a strike. 2-1. Boy, Joe's got a little baby boy who might very well put on the gear and go back of the plate. Boy, what a stocky kid. Wow. His dad might get in tonight. Brosnan ready in the 2-1 pitch. Fastball on the outside corner. 2-2. 2 down, bottom of the 3rd inning. Brooklyn 6, Chicago nothing. Yes, it's kind of a one-sided game thus far, but you have a couple of things going. Sandy Koufax has struck out 6 men. He is not allowed a hit. He has not walked anybody. Pignatano might break into the majors, so stay right with us. Fastball is low, ball 3. Full count to Sandy. Jim Brosnan in relief of Dick Drott. Tomorrow night will be at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. Don Drysdale and Don Kaiser. The 3-2 pitch to Koufax. Fastball in there. Sandy's caught looking and strikes out for the 2nd time. For the Dodgers in the 3rd inning, they pick up 3 more runs. There were 3 hits, a home run, a double, and a single. 1 man left on. and one man hit by a pitch, Campanella, who had to leave. And Joe Pignatano is putting on the gear. So welcome to the club, Joe, and lots of luck. Carl Erskine's stopping to talk to him right now. Well, Pignatano, a Brooklyn boy, finally plants his spikes back at home plate and takes a few warm-up tosses. Let's check with our Schaefer scoreboard. Milwaukee and the Giants at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Milwaukee 3 and the Giants 2. Ray Crone for Milwaukee. For the Giants, Stu Miller and Kurt Barkley in the third inning. Torrey and Aaron have hit home runs. And a roar in the background as Joe's announced to the crowd. Aaron's home run came with a man aboard, his 13th. Willie Mays hit a home run in the first inning with nobody on. 3-2 Braves at the end of 2.5. Philadelphia leading Cincinnati 3-0 at the end of 4 innings. Pittsburgh leading St. Louis 1-0 at the end of 2.5. Schmidt against Smith. Schmidt against Smith. Cincinnati, Philadelphia, as we said, 3-0 Phils at the end of 4. Lawrence against Haddix. American League, Yankees leading Cleveland 3-1 at the end of 2 innings. Sturdivant against Daly, relieved by Mossy in the first inning. Boston, Chicago, we have confirmation. Stone against Pierce. Washington, Detroit, probably Clevenger against Mars. Baltimore, Kansas City, probably Lowe's against Morgan. So at the end of 3 innings of play, Brooklyn 6 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. Chicago, no runs, no hits, and 1 error. And we have a Brooklyn battery now, Sandy Koufax and Joe Pignatano. To the 4th inning, and for Schaefer Beer and the play-by-play, here's Jerry Doggett.
Thanks, Ben, and hi again, everyone. Bob Speak coming on now for Chicago to face Sandy Koufax. 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, and no base hits off Sandy. Dodgers 6, and the Cubs nothing. First of a 3-game series. The middle game will be tomorrow night at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, and the finale back here at Ebbets Field on Thursday night. Pignatano gives a sign, and here's the pitch. Fastball comes low from Koufax. 1 ball, no strikes on Bob Speak. Speak hitting in the number 2 spot. Hitting at 243. Ernie Banks on deck and Lee Walls down in the hole. The windup and the 1-0 pitch. In for a strike. Fastball, and it's 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Bob Speak. The Cubs have had 1 man on. Speak walked in the first inning. Sandy checks the sign, winds and fires. The pitch is low for a ball, and the count goes 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. The Dodgers got 3 in the first and 3 more in the third off starter Dick Drott, who then was relieved by Jim Brosnan. Strike 2 with a fastball over the plate at the knees, and it's a 2-2 count. Charlie Neal wide of third in a step or 2 against the left-hand batter. Speak waiting. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A bouncer foul down the first base line. Handled in the first base coaching box by Freddie Fitzsimmons. Count holds a 2-2 on Bob Speak. Dodgers home after a long road trip. The Western trip was interrupted by 3 games here at Ebbets Field against the Giants, and then back they went to Pennsylvania for some more on the road. And now back home for 15 games in 13 days. A couple of big doubleheaders coming on. We will tell you about those a little later. 2-2. Koufax shakes off a sign from Pignatano, gets another one. The windup in the 2-2 pitch. Fastball just missed the outside corner at 3-2. So a full count on Bob Speak. Number 11, left-hand batter. And 2. Koufax takes his sign, the windup, and here's the pitch. High fly ball to right field. Samoli backs up, waiting now, and moves in a step or 2 and makes the play for the out, 1 away. Speak skies out high to right. 1 up, 1 down, and here's Ernie Banks coming on. 1 down, swinging first time. Ernie off to a slow start for him this year, hitting just a 229. He has 5 home runs and 15 runs batted in. Banks the batter with Walls on deck and Frank Renega to follow. 1 out, none on, 4th inning. Dodgers 6, Chicago Cubs nothing. The Cubs in 7th place, just a half game ahead of the Pirates, trying to stay out of the coal hole. Here's a bounder foul past third. Strike 1. 0-1 to Banks. Koufax gets a new one to work with now. Pignatano replaced Campanella, plunked in the ribs, above the ribs, by fastball from Dick Drott. Campy had to retire from the game. Here's the 0-1 pitch by Koufax. Curveball swung on and missed. Strike two. Sandy pulled the string very well that time, changed up, and Banks was fooled. 0-2. One out, none on, fourth inning. Sandy ready, the windup and pitch. Fastball got him swinging. Down goes Banks for the second time tonight, and for Koufax, strikeout number 7. So in 3 2/3 innings, Koufax now has chalked up 7 strikeouts, which is a better pace than he had when he struck out 13 Cubs out at Wrigley Field. Lee Walls coming on. Popped out his first time and is hitting .224. Center fielder Lee Walls. 2 outs, none on. Fourth inning, Cubs have had just one base runner, Speak, who walked in the first inning. Slow curve is up high, and it's ball 1. Dodgers 6, Cubs nothing. Top of the fourth inning at Ebbets Field, and Schaefer Beer happy to send it to you tonight. Hope you enjoy the game. We know you'll enjoy Schaefer. Fastball, strike 1. Count evens now, 1-1 on Lee Walls. Walls bluffed a bunt that time, and Charlie Neal came charging in from third. It's Neal, Zimmer, Gilliam, and Hodges on the Dodger infield. The outfield, Amaro, Snyder, and Samoli. Pignatano catching and Koufax pitching. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Up high with a fastball. It's ball 2, 2-1. 2 outs, none on. Fourth inning, Chicago at bat. Koufax checks again with Pignatano, delivers. The fastball is low and outside, ball 3. 3-1 to Lee Walls. Well, a big set coming up over the weekend. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday, a doubleheader. Cincinnati Redlegs coming to town over the weekend. We hope you've got your tickets and plan to be here. That'll be a big set. 3-1 pitch on the way. Ball 4 up high, he walked him. So Walls is on. That's walk number 2 given up by Sandy Koufax. Second base runner for Chicago, and Frank Ornega coming on. Two outs, 1 on. Ornega, the batter, struck out first time, hitting .333. Koufax now working out of the stretch for the second time tonight. Shakes off a sign, gets a new one. 2 outs, 1 on. Cubs batting. Pitch. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner, knee high. 0-1 to Frank Ornega, E-R-N-A-G-A. Frank brought up just after the season opened from Portland. 0-1. Pitch. Curveball high over the bill of the cap, and it's ball 1. Even count now, 1 ball, 1 strike. One. Walls playing it close to the bag at first. Hodges holding him on. Curveball for strike 2. Ornega had a notion, checked his swing, and it cost him. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Cubs right fielder, Frank Ornega. Should he get on, Dale Long is due next. 1-2 count. Koufax checks again, delivers. A wild pitch gets by Pignatano back to the wire, and down to second base goes Walls. Makes his turn there and holds on as Pignatano comes back to the screen to retrieve. A high one. And it's a wild pitch charged against Sandy Koufax. Pignatano just able to get a tip of the glove on it and couldn't slow it down. So the Cubs have a man at second with 2 out. Walls on there, and Ornega has a 2-2 count. 2-2 on the batter. 2 outs and a man on at second. Dodgers 6, Cubs nothing, top of the 4th. Now the check by Koufax, and here's his pitch. Fastball high again, ball 3. So the count to Ornega, full. 3-2. Moves off second. Koufax ready. 3-2 count. Here's the pitch. Got him swinging. Down he goes. Side retired. For Koufax, strikeout number 8 in 4 innings. So he's been rolling along here with an average of 2 per inning. Side out in the 4th inning for the Cubs. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they left 1 man on. So at the end of 3.5 innings of play, it's the Dodgers 6, Chicago Cubs nothing. And now here's Vin.
Well, isn't it a fact, friends, as many times as your favorite player comes through in the clutch, you always get a kick out of it. Does your heart good every time. Well, let me tell you about something else that'll do your heart good every single time, and I'm talking about a tall, cool glass of Schaefer beer. Yes, sir, Schaefer is beer at its best in any man's league. It's got to be, because Schaefer is brewed for enjoyment, brewed to give you all the zesty, satisfying flavor you want, but don't always find. The Schaefer folks select rich barley malt, tangy hops, and other fine, natural ingredients. Then they add their own special ingredient, the brewing skill that comes from 115 years of experience. So for real enjoyment, how about having a tall, foaming glass of Schaefer beer right about now? And you'll agree about Schaefer, and it's real beer. Skål, toast. Here's mud in your eyes. Last of the 4th inning, Brooklyn 6 runs, 4 hits, and no errors. But another story is building up now, for the Cubs have been at bat for 4 innings, and Koufax is not allowed a hit and has struck out 8. So you stay right where you be and listen to Jerry.
Okay, Vinny, top of the 4th inning, it'll be Sandy Amoros, Jim Gilliam, and Duke Snyder coming on. Amoros has walked and popped out. Jim Brosnan came on to relieve starter Dick Drott in the 3rd. And got Zimmer to bounce in the double play and struck out Koufax, so he quieted the noise. Dodgers 3 in the 1st and 3 in the 3rd. So here we go now, the last half of the 4th inning. Jim Brosnan warming up with catcher Cal Neiman. And now Amoros steps in and we're ready to go. Last of the 4th inning. Brosnan in the windup, and here's the pitch to Sandy. Curveball drops in for a strike. Sandy hitting .314. Gilliam on deck, and then Snyder to follow. Strike 1 count. Big Jim delivers. Up high, ball 1. Count evens, 1-1 to Amoros. The Chicago defense moves around to the right to play Amoros to pull. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Curve again high outside, ball 2, 2-1. Banks is wide of 3rd and in a step or 2. Shortstop Jack Luttrell shading second just a bit. Morgan and Long deep on the right side, and the outfield moved around a bit to the right to play against Sandy. 2-1 pitch. Down it comes. Curve that's in for a strike at the knees, and it's 2-2 to Amoros. Here's the pitch. A bouncer off to the right side. Coming on fast forward is Morgan. His play to first is in time, and it's 1 away. Amoros rolls out second to first. So we have 1 up, 1 down, and on coming is Junior Gilliam. Walked, scored a run, and grounded out. At the end of 4.5 innings, Philadelphia 3, Cincinnati nothing. Milwaukee now has taken the lead on the Giants at the end of 4.5, 4-3. Gilliam hitting .250. Brosnan, the big right-hander, checks his sign with catcher Cal Neiman. Here's the windup and pitch. Fastball skips in the dirt at the plate, ball 1. Banks in a bit closer now than he was on Amoros, still wide of the bag, guarding against a bunt possibility from Junior. Here's the windup and the pitch. And Junior ran up to bunt it, let it go, and it cost him for a strike, 1-1. One to Gilliam. The windup and pitch. Curveball in for a strike on the inside corner. Gilliam taking, and it's 1-2. 1 out, none on, last of the fourth. Dodgers 6, Cubs nothing. First of a 3-game series, opening a long homestand for Brooklyn. Fastball is high and outside. Ball 2. 2-2 now. Two to Gilliam. 1 out, none on. The windup and the pitch. Curveball bounced foul down the right field line all the way to the Brooklyn bullpen. And the count to Gilliam holds at 2-2. As Brosnan gets a new one now. Rubs it up. Two pitch on the way. The roller hits go wide of first base. Over for it goes Morgan. Makes his plate along in time, and it's 2 gone. Gilliam rolls out, as did Amaro. Second to first. 2 up and 2 down, and here comes Snyder. Here's a further report on Campanella, examined by the team physician, Dr. Kubiak, and reported that he was okay. The doc examined his ribs, his heart, said everything's all right. Had the wind knocked out of him, and it's going to be a little sore, but should be able to play by tomorrow. So a good report on Campy. Plunked in the ribs earlier by a Dick drop fastball. Pitch to Snyder on the inside corner for a called strike. Snyder has walked, hit a home run. He's 1 for 1 and has scored twice, hitting .250. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball outside, ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike on Duke Snyder. Gino Samoli on deck. 2 out, 4th inning. Dodgers 6, Cubs nothing. Brosnan into the windup, and down it comes. Duke takes a fastball at the knees for a strike 2, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Brosnan has faced 4 batters, retired them all. He got Zimmer with 2 on and got him to hit in a double play, then struck out Koufax in the 3rd. Got Ambrose and Gilliam on rollers here. Snyder swings a hot one past first, foul, and the count stays at 1-2. The Pirates lead the Cardinals 1-0 at the end of 2.5 innings of play. Yankees 6. Cleveland 1 through 3 innings of play at Cleveland tonight. 1-2, the count to Duke Snyder. 2 outs, none on. Dodgers 6, Cubs nothing. Brosnan into the windup, and down it comes. Curveball high, and it's ball 2. Even count now to Duke, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Big Jim winds and fires to Duke. Swings and chops it foul, rolling back behind the plate into the Dodger dugout. So the count holds at 2-2. Tomorrow night, these same clubs play at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City, and then back again to Ebbets Field on Thursday. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday a doubleheader with Cincinnati here at Ebbets Field. Here's the pitch. Swung on a miss, strike 3. Snyder going for a slow curve is out on strike. For Brosnan, strikeout number 2. And that is the 14th strikeout in the ball game.
Pilot, man your plane.
Flying
Flying off is okay for pilots, but don't you go flying off in all directions when it comes to buying a car.
No, sir. Go to Rose Oldsmobile, the oldest franchise Oldsmobile dealer in the Capital District.
There must be a reason why so many people keep coming back to buy from Rose year after year. Over 67% of Rose Oldsmobile sales are to repeat customers.
Yes, one reason, Rose is the most economical place to buy your car. You get a good deal from Rose Oldsmobile.
Their modern shop is so completely equipped with late modern factory-approved equipment for continuing warranty work that ensures satisfaction.
Another reason to buy from Rose Oldsmobile. Only the finest and late model cars are traded in on new Oldsmobiles, and Rose offers their wonderful selection of carefully driven cars for your inspection.
So, when it comes to buying a car, come to Rose Oldsmobile, satisfying customers at the same location for 30 years. That's Rose Oldsmobile, corner Central and Banning, the Capital District's oldest franchise Oldsmobile dealer.
Tickets and see the Dodgers at Jersey City. Chicago coming on to bat in the fifth inning now against Sandy Koufax. Dale Long, first batter up, struck out first time up, and is hitting .241. Left-hand batter against Koufax, and now has posted 8 strikeouts. Cub pitching has recorded 6 so far. Fastball comes in low to Long, and it's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes, fifth inning. Dodgers 6 and the Cubs nothing. Long, Neiman, and Luttrell, first 3 due up. We have some bullpen activity now for the Cubs, indicating the possibility of a pinch hit if we get down to the pitcher's spot. Ball 2, down to Long, and it's 2-0 now. 2-0 count, Long waiting. In the second inning, Koufax struck out the side. Here's a fastball to Long. He takes for a strike, and it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. Top of the fifth. Long wearing number 27 on the back of the gray uniform. 2-1 pitch. Low for ball 3. 3-1. Chicago's had 2 base runners, both on walks off Koufax. So Sandy's been mowing them down. Starts to pump and holds up, gets a new sign from Joe Pignatano. Here's the windup and the 3-1 pitch. Inside, ball 4, and Long is on to start the fifth. Walk number 3 off Koufax. And it brings on Cal Neiman. He struck out his first time up. Neiman is hitting .265. Right-hand batter. Pretty good-sized boy, Cal Neiman. 1 on, none out. Fifth inning, Dodgers 6, Cubs nothing. Joe Pignatano down to give a sign. And Koufax now working out of a stretch for the 3rd time tonight. His curve is low for a ball, and it's 1 ball, no strikes. In case you joined us late, Brooklyn got 3 in the first off starter Dick Drott, and then got 3 more in the third to drive him to cover. Here's the pitch. Strike called on a fastball at the letters, and it's 1-1. Cal Neiman hitting in the number 7 spot. The shortstop, Jack Luttrell, due up next. And then the pitcher spot, Jim Brosnan. Koufax stretches again. The pitch up high with a fastball, and it's ball 2. 2-1. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 on, none out. Chicago batting in the 5th. Cubs leading, the Dodgers leading the Cubs 6-0. A swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 2. Count evens at 2-2. Tom Paholski in the bullpen for the Cubs, big right-hander. Koufax ready, 2-2 pitch to the plate. Fly ball to center field. Snyder coming on for it. Samoli from right center comes in, and Snyder makes the call, grabs it for the out. So Neiman skies out to Snyder in short right center. 1 away, and here's Jack Luttrell, the shortstop. Luttrell is hitting at 138. 1 out, and 1 on. Pignatano on the mound talking to Koufax, so while he's out there talking, let's duck in a station break. This is the Brooklyn Dodgers Radio Network.
Ted Brown and the Redhead keep you entertained with chatter, music, news, and weather every morning.
Dial 1460 WOKO for the Brooklyn Dodgers games and write to WOKO for the complete Dodgers schedule of games at home and away. Yours free for the asking. Be sure to give your name and address. Write Baseball WOKO, Albany, New York.
Ball hit to left field. Sandy Ambrose moving in and coming toward the lineup, but he's there waiting and makes his play for the out. 2 away. Luttrell skies to left, and Jim Brosnan due up. We'll see if he's going to bat. Goes to get a helmet, so it looks like he's going to come on. 2 outs, 1 on. Long started the inning with a walk. And Brosnan now will be the hitter. Goes to the bat rack to pick one out, getting a batting helmet right now. Here he comes. Dodgers 6 runs on 4 hits. The Cubs no runs on no hits. Chicago with 1 error, a throwing error by Cal Neiman in the first inning that got in the first run of the ball game. So here's Brosnan up now with 2 outs and 1 on. Top of the 5th. Sandy delivers. The fastball is in for a strike. Koufax has recorded at least 1 strikeout in every inning up to now. He got 2 in the first, 3 in the second, 1 in the third, and 2 in the fourth. Total of 8. Fastball outside, ball 1. Count evens to Brosnan, 1-1. Joe Pignatano doing the catching. Campanella plunked in the ribs in the 3rd inning. Had to leave the ball game, but the doctor reports that he's okay. Just going to be a little sore for a day or so. The 1-1 pitch. Foul back, straight back to the wire. Strike 2. 1-2 to pitcher Jim Brosnan. Dale Long wandered around off first. Hodges kind of ignoring him. Now moves up. Hold him on. 1-2. Here's the pitch. Curveball high, and it's ball 2. Even count now, 2-2. Sandy Koufax ready again. Checks the 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside corner. So Sandy keeps the string going and now has 9 strikeouts in 5 innings. For the Cubs, in the top of the 5th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. So at the end of 4.5 innings of play, the score, the Dodgers 6, Chicago nothing. And now, friends, a word from Al Helfer.
Well, sometime or other, we've all watched the third base coach flashing signs. But did you ever watch old Jerry Doggett here flashing his signs? He's got his hand held out, palm up. Well, that means left my luckies at home. Gonna mooch one. A beaming smile, Well, that's Jerry's sign that he's got his lucky and he's enjoying it right now. What else? Oh, no. A lucky is all fine tobacco. There couldn't be anything else. Naturally good-tasting tobacco that's toasted to taste even better. Well, say, what's he signaling now? Oh, I got it, Jerry. Let's all light up our lucky. Oh, that's a good idea.
For the taste that you like, light up a Lucky Strike. You'll say a Lucky's the best-tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Move into the last half of inning number 5 at Ebbets Field. Gino Simoli will be the first man up. Then comes Hodges, and then comes Pignatano. You all set, Jerry?
Ready to go, Al.
That lucky fired and going, huh?
Got it going. Hold it just a minute now. I got to put a match to it. And then we'll be ready to roll. Somoli has struck out and walked and scored. Gino hitting at .343. On the mound, Big Jim Brosnan. Into the windup, and the pitch comes to Somoli. Gino checked up and took it low for a ball. 1-0. Now I'm ready.
What are you going to do with the other one on the other side? You got two of them lit now.
Oh, well, you can smoke them two at a time. 2, 3, 5, or 6. You can't improve on the flavor, though. Boy, they're all fine. The best tasting cigarette you ever smoked. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Gino. Again, he checks, and it's ball 2. Curve outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Dodgers 6, Cubs nothing. Bottom of the 5th. Somoli with a hot bat, .432 average in his last 11 ball games. Here's the pitch. Pop foul back of the plate. Neiman turns and watches it sail in the upper deck, and it's 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike to Gino Somoli, batting the cleanup spot. Brosnan ready. Here's the pitch. Curveball in high, and on the letters, ball 3. 3-1 to Gino. Here's the pitch. Swinging a drive to left field, belted. Backboard goes to left fielder Speak and makes the grab in front of the wall. Gino gave it a ride deep to left field, but Speak was there to make the play. So Somoli lines left, 1 away, and on comes Hodges. Gill has walked and doubled, has scored twice. Ready now, pitches to Hodges. Fastball on the inside corner, strike 1. Strike 1 count. The windup and the pitch. Low for a ball, and the count goes 1-1. Last of the 5th inning, we have 1 out. Dodgers batting, leading 6-0 over Chicago. First of a 15-game homestand. One ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Fly ball to deep center field. Backboard goes wild, way back, and forget it. It's a home run for Hodges. Hodges hit one far and deep into the lower stands in left center field, a long way away, and it's the 7th of the year. And for the veterans at the VA Hospital, Montrose, New York, another 1,000 free luckies along with that home run. Here's Joe Pignatano up for his first at bat. Joe got in the ball game in the 3rd, and now gets to take a look at Major League pitching. Last year at St. Paul, Joe hit .295. Ball 1 to him. Swings on a curve, and it's strike 1, 1-1. So far in our ball game tonight, we've sent along 3,000 luckies to the veterans at Montrose Hospital. We have a quota of 34,000, and now have received 29 of the 34,000 quota. Curveball bites in the dirt and bounces away from Neiman, and to Pignatano, it's ball 2 and strike 1. The Dodgers 7. And the Cubs nothing. Gill's been on a real binge here lately. 2 homers, 2 doubles, 2 walks in his last 6 times to the plate. That's pretty good. 4 for 4, and he's been on base 6 times. Joe takes a strike at the knees, and it's 2-2 to Pignatano. As Brosnan goes into the windup, and here's his pitch. A swing and a drive to right field. Base hit for Pignatano. One big bounce in front of Renega. So Joe is on, slamming one to right over the head of second baseman Bobby Morgan. And a nice round of applause for the Brooklyn catcher, Joe Pignatano, on with a single. And here comes Charlie Neal. Charlie struck out and singled a drive in a pair, so he's 1 for 2, hitting at .274. The home run by Hodges was the first one allowed by Brosnan. In fact, was the first base runner. Big Jim checks first. Pignatano leads off, and here's the pitch to Neal. Down low, ball 1. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1 out, 1 on. Dodgers 7, Cubs nothing. Philadelphia 3, Cincinnati nothing through 6.5. Fastball outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Pignatano on first. Charlie Neal waiting. Don Zimmer on deck. Infield up a step or 2, double play depth. Fastball low, and it's ball 3 to Neal. Count to Charlie Neal. Here's the look and the pitch. Ball 4, high and inside. Bends him back, and Neal's on with a walk. Off Brosnan, walk number 1, and off Chicago pitching, the Dodgers have now received 5 free passes, or rather 6. 5 off Drott and 1 off Brosnan. Here's Don Zimmer up now, called out on strikes and wrapped into a double play, hitting .226. Pignatano on second, and Neal on at first. 1 out. Here's the pitch. Curveball, low and away, ball 1. Dodgers 3 in the first, 3 in the third, and 1 now in the 5th with 2 on and 1 out. So the Dodgers have been using the odd innings tonight to get their runs. Brosnan ready, checks and delivers. Foul ball straight back, and it's 1-1 to Zimmer. Sandy Koufax due up next, but Sandy Ambrose comes out in the on-deck circle. At the end of 6, the Giants 5, Milwaukee 4. The end of 6.5, Philadelphia 3, and Cincinnati nothing. Here's the pitch to Zimmer. High and outside, ball 2, 2-1. Harvey Haddock's doing the work for Philadelphia. And hanging goose eggs on Redlegs up to now. Count. Zimmer waiting. 2 on. Pignatano and Neal at second and first. Brosnan delivers. Zim swings a high pop fly into center field. Coming on for it is Walls, and cutting in from right is Ernega. Walls calls and almost overran the ball. Stopped and leaned back to make the grab. So Zimmer out on a pop fly into center field. 2 away now is Sandy Koufax. Goes to the bat rack to get a helmet and a bat. And up he comes. Nice hand for Sandy, who through 5 innings has allowed no runs and no hits to Chicago and just 3 base runners while striking out 9. Sandy having quite an evening so far. Koufax swings left. Waiting now for Brosnan to get set. 2 on, 2 out. Here's the pitch. Foul ball, straight back, strike 1. Got to give Sandy a cheer as he got a piece of the ball. Sandy is 0 for 12. Tonight he has struck out twice, and I think that he struck out now 10 out of 12 times. Is that about right, Alan? 8 out of 12. Here's the pitch. Curveball in tight, and it's ball 1. 1-1 to Koufax. Dodgers 7, Cubs nothing, last of the 5th inning. 2 outs, 2 on. Brosnan, the second Chicago hurler, replaced Dick Drott in the third. The 1-1 pitch. A liner hit right to the second baseman, Morgan, who makes the grab. And here's what happened on the play. Morgan had come over to bluff the runner, Pignatano, and he was going back as Brosnan pitched. Had he not been over there, the ball would have gone through the middle for a base hit for Koufax. So Sandy can say that he was robbed.
If it's value you want, then it's value you'll get when you trade at Rose Oldsmobile. Take a tip from a friend that you'll never regret. If you're looking for a really good used car, Rose Oldsmobile, the Capital District's oldest franchised Oldsmobile dealer, is the place to go. If you've ever purchased any car, anywhere, then you know there's more to buying a car than just price. You want to be sure the deal you make is the best deal for you, and you want to be sure the dealer stands behind it. You can be sure when you deal with Rose Oldsmobile at the corner of Central and Manning in Albany. Rose Oldsmobile sells the best late-model used cars, good, reliable used cars traded on brand-new Oldsmobiles. And these late-model beauties are priced right. So when you think of value in used cars, think of price. Think of the deal you can make. Think of the firm's reputation. When you think of value in these terms, you're sure to think of Rose Oldsmobile, corner of Central and Manning in Albany. You'll never, 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 never get better value.
And for the next 4 purchasers of the yearbook, the same gift, a pair of box seats. That's 10 box seats in all, waiting for 5 lucky purchasers of the Dodger yearbook. That Dodger yearbook, Box 119, Brooklyn 1, New York. Maybe you'll be the recipient of a pair of box seats. Order your book right away. Into the 6th inning we go, Jerry. That's Morgan up there. How about it?
Ready to go. Sandy Koufax into the windup, and here's his pitch. Fastball for a strike in at the knees, and it's 0-1. Koufax with 9 strikeouts has walked 3 and allowed no runs and no hits to the Cubs. Top of the 6th inning, Bobby Morgan, the leadoff man, takes a curveball inside, and it's ball 1. Even count now, 1-1. Joe Pignatano behind the plate, down to give a sign. Charlie Neal edging in at third, just in case Morgan should think about bunting. The 1-1 pitch. Bouncer foul past third and off the box seat railing. Scramble for it, and the man fell out of the stands going after that one. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Bobby Morgan. He fell out of the stands to get the ball, and the park policeman come down to retrieve it. You can't come on the field to get it. You got to stay in the stands. When you fall out of there, that's too bad. Of course, that draws a round of boos. The 1-2 pitch by Koufax. Foul ball right straight back, and it's still 1-2. Sandy Koufax, leading the league in strikeouts, really blazing them in. 9 in 5 innings so far tonight. At the end of 7, the Phillies 3, Cincinnati nothing. Milwaukee tied it up on the Giants with 1 in the 7th, 5-5, top of the 7th. Curveball just missed inside, and it's ball 2. 2-2 to Morgan. Speak is on deck with Ernie Banks down in the hole. Pitch is low for a ball, and the count goes 3-2 now. Full count to Bobby Morgan. In the 5th inning, Koufax walked the first batter Long, but then got the side out, and Long died at first. 3-2 pitch on the way. Ball 4, low and inside, he walked him. So from Koufax, walk number 4. And again, leadoff man is on, and Bob Speak comes on. He walked and flied out in 2 tries, none for 1. pitch comes down to Speak, low for a ball, and it's 1-0. Dodgers 7, Cubs nothing. We're in the 6th inning. Sandy Koufax checks his runner, checks his sign now, and goes out of a stretch. Delivers to Speak. Strike called with a curve on the corner, and it's 1-1. Brooklyn got 3 in the first, 3 in the third, and 1 in the fifth. Charlie Neal playing it in at third with a left-hand batter up there. Zimmer and Gilliam halfway and double played up. Hodges holding the runner on, now backs off. Here's the pitch. Pop up around the plate, foul. Back for it comes Pignatano. Back to the wire, but it's up in the screen, out of play. So it's a ball and 2 strike count now to Bob Speak. Joe Pignatano in the ball game. Campanella plunked in the chest by pitch by Dick Drott in the third, had to leave the ball game. Rube Walker has a couple of stitches in his right hand, so Pignatano gets into his first major league ball game here tonight. The Brooklyn boy handling the slants of Sandy Koufax, giving the Dodgers an all-Brooklyn battery for the first time in, I guess, a long time. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curve up high for ball 2. 2-2. Actually, the second game that Joe's been in, but the first game that he's caught, he was in as a pinch runner earlier. 2-2, Koufax eyes Morgan at first base, now delivers to the plate. Ball 3, the fastball just inside. So again, a full count here on Bob Speak. Koufax working away. He's walked 4 and struck out 9. Now Pignatano goes out to have a talk. Joe is rated a very capable receiver. And last year he had a good batting average at St. Paul in 81 games. He hit .295. His peak year was in 1953 at Asheville, North Carolina. He hit .316. And 2. Sandy Koufax out of a stretch. Here's the pitch to Speak. A drive to right field. That one's tagged. That one is well hit and over the wall. A home run for Bob Speak. And 2 runs score for Chicago in the first hit of the ball game off Sandy Koufax. As Bob Speak hit a low fastball on the 3-2 pitch and gave it a golf shot over the screen in right field out into Bedford Avenue. So the Cubs pick up a pair, and down the drain goes the no-hitter and also the shutout. 2 runs on 1 hit for Chicago, a home run to Bob Speak. Ernie Banks coming on, takes low for a ball. Nobody out, 2 in, and it's a 7-2 ball game. And for the home run, Bob Speak sends along 1,000 free luckies to the veterans at Montrose Hospital, Montrose, New York. 1 ball, no strikes. The curveball to Banks is inside, ball 2. Sandy was rolling along with pretty good control. He had a walk in the first, in the fourth, the fifth, and now in the sixth, but he got behind. Had to come in with one to Speak on a full count. Here's a strike to Banks, and it's 2-1. Ernie Banks at bat has struck out twice. Koufax checks the sign from Pignatano. The 2-1 pitch. High fly to center field. Snyder drifting in, waits, pounds his glove, comes on in, and he's got it for the out. 1 away. So Banks out on a fly ball to center, and here's Lee Walls. Walls has popped out and walked. Speak and Walls are the only batters that have not gone down swinging before Koufax tonight. Sandy has picked up 2 on Ernie Banks and Frank Ernega. 1 on all the others except Speak and Walls. 1 out, none on. Here's his pitch. Fastball is outside, ball 1. Walls hitting at .224. Walls and Long, of course, came to the Cubs in the deal that sent Baker and Fondy to Pittsburgh. And right now it appears that the Pirates got the better of it, especially since Dee Fondy is leading the league in batting with a .367 average. Long is hitting .241, and Walls hitting .224. Here's the pitch. Fastball is in for the strike, and it's 1-1. Oddly enough, although the Pirates are last in the league, they have 3 among the top 10 hitters: Fondy, Grote, and Thomas. 1-1 pitch. High and inside, ball 2. Koufax with a curveball, lost control of it. 2 balls, 1 strike, 6th inning. The Cubs have 2 in, and it's 7-2, Dodgers lead. Neal playing shallow at third against Walls, who might bunt. Ground ball to the left side. Zimmer goes over towards second. Plays it across. In time for the out. 2 away. And up to this point, with 2 out in the 6th inning, Koufax has chalked up at least 1 strikeout per inning. But now he comes again to an inning with 2 outs, needing to get 1 to keep the string alive. The play by Zimmer is the first assist of the ball game. All of the other putouts, fly balls, or strikeouts. First assist. There's a fastball for a strike, so we go along for 5 2/3 innings before we get the first ground ball, actually. The first assist. 2 outs, strike 1 count on Frank Renega, who has struck out twice. Curve is low for ball, and the count is 1-1. 2 outs, none on. In the inning, Morgan walked, and Speak had a line drive over the screen and right for a home run. Lucky Strike sending it all to you tonight from Ebbets Field. Fastball outside, ball 2. 2-1 now to Renega. Frank hitting .310. Came into tonight's game at .353, but he'd only been up there 17 times with 6 hits. Now is 6 for 19. And looks at a fastball low again, ball 3. So it's 3-1 to Frank Renega. Koufax into the windup, and here's his pitch. Strike 2 on the outside corner. It's 3-2. Ignatano passes it out, and Koufax winds and fires. Strike 3. Down he goes, and that's number 10 for Sandy Koufax, and he still has at least one an inning. The 3rd time for Renega, the side out in the 6th. For the Cubs, 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they left none on. So at the end of the top of the 6th inning, the score: the Dodgers 7, Chicago 2. Al, you ready?
Yes, sir. Now for a quick trip to the captain's corner. Captain Pee-wee, you're up.
So far this season, the one thing which has impressed me mostly is the balance of the league. All the clubs are tough now. Several years ago, we never had too much trouble with Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, or Chicago. Now, every team in the league seems to play like pennant contenders against us. The Giants may not be high in the standings, but when they play us, they really get up for the games. I would say the National League this season is the best balance I've ever seen it. It should make for great fan appeal.
Well spoken, Captain Reese. Got a suggestion for you before we focus back on the game. Fans, light up a Lucky and enjoy the genuine pleasure of a genuine cigarette. You'll say a Lucky's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked. Now to the last half of inning number 6. First man up will be Sandy Amaros, then we'll have Gilliam and Snyder. Now have a 7-2 ball game in favor of the Brooklyn Dodgers. Sandy Koufax, despite the fact he's given up 2 runs, is still breezing. Going right along here, firing that fastball. He's stuffing it in, isn't he, Jerry?
He's really pouring it out. 10 strikeouts in the ball game through 6 innings. Amaros waits none for 2 tonight. Brosnan delivers a high curve, ball 1. Sandy hitting at .308. Came into tonight's game at .320. Popped out, walked, and grounded out. The Dodgers have 6 base hits, good for 7 runs. The Cubs have 1 hit, good for 2 runs. A curve is in for a strike, and it's 1-1 to Amaros. The windup and pitch. Curveball belted into center field. Walls now turns and drifts back for it. Back near the track. He's got it for the out. Ambrose skying deep to center for the first out in the inning. One up, one down, and here's Gilliam. Junior has walked, grounded out twice. Gilliam hitting at .249, none for two tonight. Dodgers 7, Cubs 2, last of the sixth inning. Brosnan delivers. Gilliam swings and hits one in the hole to left field for a base hit. Junior slashing one through there between the shortstop Luttrell and third baseman Ernie Banks. So he's on with a single, hit number 7 for the Dodgers, and oncoming will be Duke Snyder. And as soon as we see what happens to Snyder, we'll run in the station break for you. One on, one out. Snyder has walked, hit a home run, and struck out. Duke hitting at .248. 1 for 2 tonight. He's picked up 3 points this evening with a home run. Scored 2 runs. 1 on, 1 out. Brosnan, the big right-hander, second Chicago pitcher of the night. Here's the pitch. Fastball for a strike at the knees to Snyder, 0-1. Gino Samoli on deck and Gil Hodges down in the hole. Strike 1 count, Duke waiting. Gilliam off first. Here's the pitch. Foul ball ripped straight back, and it's strike 2 to Duke. 0-2. Nothing and 2 count to Snyder. Gilliam off first, 1 out. Brosnan out of a stretch, delivers to Duke. Curve in the dirt, bounces by Neiman. Down to second goes Gilliam, makes a big turn there, and now goes to third. The throw to Banks is in time. Gilliam out, trying to go to third on a wild pitch. The ball came back to the backstop, and Neiman had a little trouble grabbing it, finally picked it up and fired to Banks for the out. So if you're scoring, it'll be Gilliam to second on a wild pitch, and out going to third, 2-5. Count to Snyder, ball 1 and 2 strikes. Gilliam out. Jim hesitated just a moment before deciding to go on, and that split second cost him. Out at third as Neiman made a perfect peg down to Banks. So 2 outs now. No base runner. Snyder waiting. Ball 1, strike 2. The windup and the 1-2 pitch. Curve outside for ball, and the count 2-2 now on Snyder. Two to Duke. Dodgers 7, Cubs 2, last of the sixth. The windup and pitch. Fastball high outside, ball 3. Tomorrow night at Jersey City, it'll be Don Drysdale for the Dodgers against Don Kaiser for the Cubs. Don Newcomb due to pitch back at Ebbets Field on Thursday against Chicago. Sal Magley was due to start tonight, but they jammed a thumb in the outfield 2 days ago at Philadelphia. There's a belt to right, foul, wow. Snyder hit that one over the roof, down in the right field corner. Way out of here. He got a little out in front of the changeup and really belted it. Three and 2 to Snyder. 2 outs, none on, 6th inning. Here's the windup, and down it comes. Foul ball on the ground, back of the plate. Count holds to Duke, 3 and 2. Southpaw umpire Tom Gorman whips one out to the mound to Brosnan. Dodgers 7, Chicago 2, 2 outs, 6th inning, none on. They have a real shift on for Snyder. Second baseman Morgan playing a step or 2 back on the grass. And shortstop Luttrell is nearly behind second. Banks with the left side of the infield himself. Ball 4, low, and Snyder is on with a walk. number 2 given up, and while Somoli comes on, let's duck in a station break. This is the Brooklyn Dodgers Radio Network.
Dial 1460 WOKO for the Brooklyn Dodgers games and write to WOKO for the complete Dodgers schedule of games at home and away. Yours free for the asking. Be sure to give your name and address. Write Baseball WOKO, Albany, New York.
Gino Somoli waiting, none for 2 tonight. Struck out, walked, and flied to left. The pitch to him, fastball, low and outside, ball 1. Snyder on with a walk. The Dodgers now have received 7 walks. Koufax for the Dodgers has given up 4 to the Cubs. There have been 16 strikeouts, 10 by Koufax, 4 by Drott, and 2 by Brosnan. There's just been 8 hits in the game and 9 runs. Here's the pitch. Fouled away as Gino tried to hold his swing. The ball hit the underside of the bat and bounced back to the Cub dugout. 1-1 to Somoli. Hodges on deck and Pignatano to follow. 2 outs in the 6th. Dodgers 7, Cubs 2. One and one. Here's the look. Here's the pitch. A bouncer wide of third. Banks makes the play on a short hop. Into second for the force there on Snyder, and the side is retired. So for the Dodgers in the 6th inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and they left 1 on. And at the end of 6, the score, Brooklyn 7, Chicago 2. Well, we have lots of activity going on in the major leagues tonight. So here's Al with the Lucky Strike scoreboard. Al?
All right, Jerry. Milwaukee and the Giants at the end of 6.5 innings of play. The Giants at bat in the last half of the 7th inning. It is Milwaukee 5 and the New York Giants have 5. Crone started for Milwaukee. Trowbridge came on in the 7th. For the Giants, Miller began it, and Kirk Barkley relieved him in the 3rd. Torrey, Aaron, and Sawatsky have all hit home runs for Milwaukee. Aaron's 13th, Sawatsky's 1st, Torrey's 2nd. Mays and Schoendienst had connected for the distance for the Giants. Mays 9th, Schoendienst 5th. At the end of 6.5 innings, tied at 5-5. Cincinnati, Philadelphia at the end of 8. It is 3-1. Philadelphia over Cincinnati. Lawrence started for the Reds. Fowler his relief in the 6th, and Tom Acker took over in the 8th inning. Harvey Haddock pitching this ball game for Philadelphia. St. Louis and Pittsburgh at the end of 5. It is 4-3. St. Louis leading Pittsburgh. Schmidt and Merritt so far for St. Louis. Smith and Swanson going for Pittsburgh. Musial a home run in the 4th with 1 on for St. Louis. The Yankees Cleveland at the end of 6 innings. It is 6-4 in favor of the Yankees over Cleveland. Sturdivant relieved by Grimm in the 6th. Daly, Mossy in the 1st for Cleveland. At the end of 4.5, no score between Boston and Chicago. At the end of 2, Washington 1, Detroit 1, and the starting pitchers have just been announced. Baltimore has Lowe's going, Kansas City, Tom Morgan. Well, that's everything, Jerry.
Okay, Al, back to play. First pitch down to Dale Long is strike 1. Sandy Koufax with 10 strikeouts in 6 innings, working now on Long, who has struck out and walked. 1 hit off Koufax, a home run to Bob Speak with 1 on in the 6th inning. Long, big left-hand batter, hitting .241. Change-up is inside, and it's ball 1. 1-1 count. Koufax struck out 2 in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. Long swings a high pop fly around the plate. Pignatano off of the mat. Moves back about 4 steps. Wait. He's got it. 1 away. Long fouls out straight up in the air to Joe Pignatano. Foul ball to Pignatano right about 4 steps back of the plate. So 1 away, and here's Cal Neiman coming on. Struck out and flat out. Neiman none for 2, hitting .263. Koufax into the windup, and here's his pitch. Fastball for a strike on the outside corner. 0-1. 1 down in the 7th inning. And the Cubs have bullpen activity again here in the top of the 7th. A swing and a miss on a good curveball into the waters, and it's strike 2. on Cal Neiman. Koufax winds and fires. Curve at the knees for a ball, and it's 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The windup and pitch. Strike 3 called at the outside corner. Strikeout number 11 for Koufax. And for Cal Neiman, that's twice. On the year now for Sandy, that's 58 strikeouts. 2 down on the shortstop, Jack Luttrell coming on. He struck out and flat out. Ball 1 down to Luttrell. Koufax winds and fires. The fastball is low for ball 2. Tom Paholsky busy in the bullpen for Chicago. Brosnan is due up next. So if Luttrell gets on, we're apt to see a pinch batter for the Cubs. 1-1 count to Luttrell. Koufax winds and fires. Strike called, and it's 1-2. Luttrell taking a curveball at the knees. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, none on. Dodgers 7, Cubs 2, top of the 7th. Here's the pitch. A bouncer hit the third. Neal backs up near the line. Long throw is in time for the out to retire the side. So it's 3 up and 3 down for Chicago in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. So at the end of 6.5 innings of play, the score, the Dodgers 7, the Cubs 2. Well, Al, everybody's standing up for the 7th inning stretch. What do you got to say?
Oh, I've got this to say. It's been quite a game. But now, here comes the 7th inning stretch. Wonder what that Dodger fan down there is thinking about, Jer. Let's steal a listen, huh?
That time again, the 7th inning. Oh, it's a nice time of the ball game. Stand and stretch and kind of look around the ballpark. See a few things you haven't noticed during the first part of the game. Can sure tell the home fans from the visitors. Spot the lucky fans, too. No wonder they call it the Lucky 7th. A lot of lucky smokers. Can't think of a better light-up time. Boy, that tastes good. Light up a Lucky yourself. You know, they say Luckies taste better. Tell you what you'll say. You'll say it's the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked.
Gladys Goodings has supplied us with a little hand-clapping music. Let's take a look up at the scoreboard and see how things stand. For Brooklyn, 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors. And for Chicago, 2 runs, 1 hit. They have committed 1 error. We go to the last of the 7th inning. It's Hodges coming up to the plate now and stepping right back up. The lucky strike, Jerry Dawkins.
Okay, Al, Hodges had a real good night so far. Walked, doubled, and hit a home run. Gill's average has moved from 344 to 352, and he's been on base 6 times in a row, 2 doubles, 2 home runs, and 2 walks. Takes a curve on the inside corner for a strike. At the end of 8, Philadelphia 3, Cincinnati 1. And at the end of 7, the Giants 6, Milwaukee 5. 0-1 count. Here's the pitch by Brosnan. Curve low, and it's ball 1. 1 ball, 1 strike to Hodges. Jim Brosnan checks the sign. Here's the 1-1 offering. Outside, ball 2, 2-1. Roger Craig and Don Besson now in the bullpen for the Dodgers, just in case. Koufax has struck out 11. And the Cubs will have 2 more turns at bat. The 2-1 pitch to Gill. A half swing, and Gill couldn't check it in time. Strike 2, 2-2. Ball in the strike zone anyway, so it's a 2-2 count to Hodges. This National League race is really something, isn't it? A real dogfight. Hodges swings a ground ball to the left side. Shortstop Luttrell over, up with it, played a first in time, and it's one gone. So they finally stop Hodges. After getting on 6 times, Gill grounds out. Joe Pignatano coming on now, batting 1,000, if you please. 1 for 1. Out, none on, 7th inning. Brosnan looks for a sign, winds and fires to Joe. Half swing, checked up, and it's ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes to Pignatano. Charlie Neal on deck. And Don Zimmer to follow. Last of the 7th inning. Dodgers 7, the Cubs 2. Brosnan ready, the 1-0 pitch to Joe. Curve high for ball 2. In case you've joined us late, Campy got plunked in the chest by a pitched ball in the 3rd, and with the score 6-0, Pignatano got the catching assignment, especially since Rube Walker has a couple of stitches in his right hand. So actually, Joe, the only able-bodied catcher, gets a big league look, and it looked very good. Takes a strike, and it's 2-1. So Joe's been riding that bench just saying, wait till I get in there, wait till I get in there, and here he is. And first catching role in the major leagues. Been in 1 ball game previous as a pinch runner. The 2-1 pitch to Joe. Strike 2. He takes a fastball, and it's 2-2. 1 out, none on. Dodgers batting in the 7th, leading 7-2. 1 hit allowed by Sandy Koufax. Dodgers have picked up 7. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. Down on strikes goes Pignatano. Strikeout number 3 for Jim Brosnan. That's 18 strikeouts in the game. And here's Charlie Neal. That's struck out, single to drive in a pair, and walked. 1 for 2 tonight. Neal hitting .274. Brosnan takes a lot of time between pitches now. Neal waits. Here's the pitch. Ground ball to the right side. Morgan scoots over on the outfield grass. Makes his play just in time to get the flying Neal by an eyelash. Post play at first. Side retired. So the Dodgers go out in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and they left none. The end of 7 innings of play. The score, the Dodgers 7, Chicago Cubs 2. Okay, Al, what you say?
Well, I say this, there are 2 terrific Sunday doubleheaders coming your way, folks. Matter of fact, some pretty tremendous baseball right down the line for the next 2 weeks. Next Sunday, a doubleheader, the Dodgers and the Cincinnati Reds. Well, need we say more about that one? And the following Sunday, June 16th, that's Father's Day, the Dodgers will be playing the St. Louis Cardinals. And as a special note to the youngsters, if you'd like to treat your dad to a ball game and sit in our special TV Father's Day section, order your $2 reserve seats by mail. Send to Father's Day, Brooklyn Dodgers, Box 55, Brooklyn 1, New York. Each seat, $2 in our special TV Father's Day section. Sure hope that you're going to make arrangements to bring your daddy out for Father's Day. Show the old man you appreciate him a little bit. Is that right, Jerry?
That's a good idea. Yeah. Yeah, get Pop and come on out here.
Yes, sir.
Well, I don't imagine those kids at Cairnbats about to come at the ball game, would they? Oh, no. They'll be really getting on, Dad. Well, it's a real way for a father and a boy to get together. What better way than right here at the ball game?
How about a father and a daughter getting together,
that's
Jerry?
just as good, Al.
Why,
Absolutely.
Sure. After all, you got a cute daughter, and I'm very proud of mine.
Yes, sir, and she's going to bring me out here on Father's Day. How about yours?
I'll bring you out here Father's Day.
Okay, Father. Jerry Kendall will bat for Brosnan, who goes out for a batter now after going 5 innings, 1 run, 3 hits, struck out 3 and walked 2. And we have 2 right-handers going in the Chicago bullpen now. We'll check them up for you. Jerry Kendall, an infielder, pinch hitting against Koufax. Takes a curve for strike 1. Sandy with the 11 strikeouts, and the last time he pitched against the Cubs, he struck out 13. Well, he has 6 more outs. At least. Here's a strike on the corner, 0-2. Sandy threw the changeup that time and got it over. Turk Lown joins Tom Paholski in the bullpen. Lown and Paholski. Fastball inside, ball 1. 1-2. Jerry Kindle pinch hitting for Jim Brosnan. Tomorrow night, same clubs over at Jersey City at Roosevelt Stadium, and back to Ebbets Field on Thursday. Fastball, pop foul back upstairs, and it's still 1-2. Well, it's all over at Philadelphia. The Phillies red hot, 3. Cincinnati, 1. So the Dodgers can pick up a little ground on Cincinnati if they can win this one. The Giants lead Milwaukee 6-5 through 7. A swing and a miss, and down he goes. Kindle out on a slow curve. Strike 3, and number 12 for Koufax. Bobby Morgan coming on now with 1 out. 12 strikeouts for Koufax, whose previous high this year is 13, whose major league high is 14. Struck out 14 in his second major league game. Here's the pitch. Strike with a curve at the knees on the inside corner. 0-1 to Bob Morgan. Koufax started this inning with 58 strikeouts in 49 innings. Here's a liner hit in the hole to right field for a base hit. And Morgan is on. Samoli fires it back in. That is hit number 2 for the Cubs off Koufax. Bob Speak coming on has walked, flied to right, and hit a home run. So Koufax rolling along here with a 2-hitter. Now has 59 strikeouts to lead the National League. There goes the runner as Koufax winds, and there's no play made. Sandy kind of kicks in the dirt with his hand, realizing he kind of pulled a boo-boo there, going into a windup with the runner on, and Morgan just romps on down to second. See if they give him a steal on that. Ball 1 count to Speak. Stolen base for Bob Morgan. Now Koufax takes his stretch. Here's the pitch. Inside, out of Pignatano's glove, but no advance by Morgan. Ball 2 on Bob Speak. Speak, a left-hand batter, has not felt the strikeout sting of Koufax yet. In fact, he belted a home run last time up. The 2-0 pitch. High and away, ball 3. Speak hitting at 250, and Koufax goes behind him on the count, 3-0. 1 on at second, 1 out here in the 8th inning. Pinch batter Jerry Kindle struck out. Number 12 for Koufax. Number 19 in the game, and that record, of course, is 23. That's the National League record, yes. Here's a strike in at the letters on Speak, and it's 3-1. That 23 mark was tied the last time Koufax pitched against the Cubs when he got 13. Cub pitchers got 10. Drabowski 8, and Lown had 2. 3-1. Koufax shakes off a sign, and Speak steps out. On at second, Bobby Morgan. Don Besson, Roger Craig behind Koufax in the Dodger bullpen. Sandy shakes it off again, and now we're going to have a conference. Koufax and Pignatano checking signs. And they might have a switch set on with a runner on at second base, and Sandy wants to make sure he doesn't cross him up. One. Bob Speak waiting, left-hand batter. Koufax peers down to get it now. Okay. Checks, out of a stretch, delivers. Curve high over his head, and Speak is on with a walk. That's the 5th walk given up by Koufax. And Speak has drawn 2 of them. Ernie Banks comes on now, has struck out twice and flied to center. So Banks nothing for 3, hitting .226. 2 on for the Cubs in the 8th inning. 1 out. Dodger infield double play depth. Dodgers lead 7-2, top of the 8th. Koufax out of a stretch delivers. Long fly ball, and there it goes, deep to left field. This one is going. Home run for Ernie Banks. Well, before you know it, the Cubs are right back in the ball game now as Ernie Banks hit the 3-run homer. It's 7-5, Dodgers lead. As Banks belted one back in the lower stands in left field for his 6th home run of the year and for another 1,000 luckies to the VA hospital at Montrose, New York. And here comes Walt Alston out to have a talk with Koufax. The Cubs have picked up 3 hits in the game. 2 have been home runs, and they've accounted for the 5 Chicago tallies. Hodges and Koufax at the mound, now waiting for Alston to come on. As Ernie Banks hit one in the stands, and it's 7-5 Brooklyn. Clem Levine now replaces Roger Craig in the Dodger bullpen and is throwing along with Don Besson. And the conference at the mound now, and Alston wants to find out about it. Sandy Koufax started the inning with no apparent sign of what was to come. Struck out pinch batter Kendall. And he's going to stay in. Alston coming on off. After Kendall struck out, Morgan stroked a single to right field. Stole second as Koufax went into a windup. Speak then drew a walk, and Banks powdered one for a home run. Here's Lee Walls up now. He has popped out, walked, and grounded out. He's none for 2. Speak and Walls, the only Cubs who have not gone down on strike. Here's the pitch. A liner hit right to Zimmer for the out. Line drive to Don, and it's 2 away. Little Don just kind of swatted down and made the catch. So 2 away now as Frank Ornega comes on. He has struck out 3 times. (7-5) Dodgers lead. Top of the 8th, Cubs batting. 2 outs, none on. Lucky Strike sending it to you from Ebbets Field. Here's a looper hitting the right center field for a base hit. This one's going to be in for extra bases going to the wall. Ornega around first. Digs to second now. Snyder plays the ball in the corner. Ornega turns and stops at second base. A double to right center field. And the Cubs now send up Dale Long with a tying run. How about that? Dodgers had a big lead of 7-0, and the Cubs now have come romping back to get in the ball game, and Koufax has been pitching brilliantly, but the home run ball has gotten him in trouble. That's just the 4th hit for Chicago. 2 home runs, a single and a double, and here comes Alston again, and that may be all for Koufax, even though Dale Long, the left-hand batter, is due up next. We'll wait and see. Alston coming back to the mound to have a talk. For Chicago, 2 right-handers, Turk Lown and Tom Paholski working. Alston now talking with Pignatano as they both walk to the mound to Koufax. Ornega belted a double to right center. And Sandy, after achieving his 12th strikeout to start this inning, has been hammered around here rather thoroughly by the Cubs. A line single to right, a walk, a long home run to left, a line out to shortstop, and a double to right center field, and he's going to leave the ball game, and Clem Levine will come on. So Koufax, after a rather brilliant performance tonight, falls off in the 8th inning, and the Cubs find the range on him and pick up 3 runs and bring the tying run to bat with 2 outs, 1 on. Dale Long due up to face the oncoming Clem Levine in from the bullpen for the Dodgers. Well, while Clem makes the long walk in here and gets his warm-up tosses down to Joe Pignatano, let's turn over to Al now and get a rundown on the Lucky Strike scoreboard. Al?
All right, Jerry, checking up on that Milwaukee-New York ball game. It's quite a tussle. At the end of 8 innings, it's all tied at 6-6. 6-6 between Milwaukee and the Giants at the end of 8. of applause for Sandy Koufax as he leaves the mound, and Clem Levine comes on. Philadelphia tonight defeated Cincinnati 3-1. St. Louis and Pittsburgh at the end of 6 innings. It's St. Louis 4, Pittsburgh 3. The Yankees and Cleveland in the American League at the end of 7 innings. It is the Yankees 6, and Cleveland has 4. Boston and Chicago at the end of 5.5 innings, no score. Boston, Chicago scoreless, end of 5.5. Washington and Detroit at the end of 2.5 innings. Washington leading Detroit 2-1. Baltimore and Kansas City at the end of half an inning. Baltimore nothing. Kansas City now coming to bat. Well, that's everything off the Lucky Strike scoreboard. I think Jerry has Levine's record all checked up for us as Clem takes the mound. He'll be pitching to Dale Long here in the 8th inning, in which the Chicago Cubs, as Jerry told you, to get back in the ball game, have scored 3 times. And Ernaga's doubled with 2 outs, placed him at second base, and Dale Long is always trouble. So, Jerry, how about it?
Okay, Long has struck out, walked and fouled out, and Levine now comes in for the 20th time this year. Clem's record is 3-0. He has saved 6. Now trying to save this one for Koufax. Here's the stretch, the look, and the pitch. Curve, high and outside, ball 1. Roger Craig now working alone in the bullpen for the Dodgers. Levine has worked 41 2/3 innings and has allowed just 8 earned runs. Winning 3, losing none. Struck out 25 and walked 9. 1-0 count to left-hand batter Dale Long. 2 outs, 1 on. The pitch, curve for a strike, and it's 1-1. Koufax worked 7 2/3 innings. Allowed 5 runs, just 4 hits. Struck out 12 and walked 5. So Sandy with a fine performance. Weakened a bit in the 8th, and the Cubs got 3 runs on Ernie Banks' homer with 2 aboard. The double by Ernega then brought Austin out for the 2nd time, and Levine in the pitch. The 1-1 pitch to Long. Ground ball down the first baseline. Hodges makes a one-hand grab on the line, and the side is retired. As Hodges carried the ball to the bag for the out in time on Long. So that's all in the 8th inning. Levine comes in and makes 3 pitches and gets the side out. For Chicago, 3 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they left 1. So at the end of the top of the 8th inning, the score, the Dodgers 7, Chicago 5. Al? Well, fans, would you like to take a guess at the time here in Brooklyn? Let's see how close you can get. Well, if you said it's about 10:30, then you'd be about right. And if you went a little further and said it was also light-up time, well, then you're thinking the same as I am. That's it. Time to touch a match to a Lucky Strike. Time to settle back to the real, deep-down smoking enjoyment of this truly genuine cigarette. And believe me, a Lucky is just that. Genuine because it's all cigarette. All fine tobacco. Mild, naturally good-tasting tobacco that's toasted to taste even better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Light up a Lucky. You'll say it's the best-tasting cigarette you ever smoked. To the last half of the 8th inning. On this Lucky Strike broadcast, Don Zimmer will be the first man up for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Then Levine is due, and then Amoros. And out there to fire to him is a right-hander named Tom Paholsky. And Jerry's got his record all checked up for us. Jerry? Okay, Al. Tom is 1-0, lost 2. This is his 10th appearance. He's started 5. And he's warming up now with catcher Cal Neiman as Don Zimmer stands by, waiting to start it off here in the last of the 8th inning. Dodgers 7, Cubs 5, last of the 8th. And the Cubs used the home run ball to get right back in the contest. A 2-run homer by Bob Speak in the 6th inning and a 3-run homer by Ernie Banks in the 8th. We've had 4 home runs. The Dodgers have hit a pair, Snyder and Hodges. And for the Cubs, Speak and Banks. We've had 1 double play, so we add up 5,000 Luckies to the VA hospital at Montrose, New York tonight, for a total of 31 out of a quota of 34,000. So we're still going along. Don Zimmer steps in now. Little Don has struck out, hit the double play, and flied out. So he's nothing for 3 and hitting .225. Tom Paholsky, big right-hander, formerly with the Cardinals. Dodgers 7, Cubs 5, bottom of the 8th. Here's the pitch to Don. Fastball is looped out past the mound. Morgan comes in from second, makes his play in time for the out, one away. Zimmer had that ball jammed right on his fist and hit on the handle of the bat out towards second base. A little squibber picked up there by Morgan for the play. One out, here comes Levine. Clem, as a batter, has been up there 10 times, has one base hit. And the guys still talk about that one as Clem belted one to the left center field wall and got a single out of it. Levine coming on with one out, none on, 8th inning. Amorose on deck and Gilliam to follow. The Dodgers got 3 in the first, 3 in the third, and 1 in the 5th. Chicago got 2 in the 6th and 3 in the 8th. And as of this moment, the starting pitchers, Dick Drop for Chicago and Koufax for Brooklyn, are the pitchers of decision. Here's the pitch by Paholski. Curveball bounced one hop to Banks at third. His play is in time easily to get Levine, 2 up and 2 down here in the 8th. Sandy Amorose coming on is none for 3 and hitting .302. To Sandy on the corner for strike 1. 0-1 on Amorose. 9,300 out for the ball game tonight here at Ebbets Field. Dodgers back home, opening up a 15-day stand. Pitch to Amorose. Inside corner for strike 2. 0-2 to Paholski, pitching to Amorose. 1-2. The right-hander winds and fires. Curveball in the dirt, ball 1. That's the first bad one he's dished up here this inning. 1-2 to Amorose. Lucky Strike, happy to send it to you tonight from Ebbets Field, Brooklyn. The Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs. Dodgers 7, Cubs 5. Curveball swung on and missed, strike 3, and Amorose now runs down the line as the ball was dropped by Neiman. Neiman chased him several steps, gave up, and then lobbed the ball to Long from put out. So that's strikeout number 1 for Paholski, and for Cub pitching, 8. For Dodger pitching, 12. Side retired in order in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and then left on. And so at the end of 8 innings of play, the score, the Dodgers 7, the Cubs 5. And now here's Al.
Well, say, fans, you ever hear the expression good bulbs? Translated, that's baseball talk for a player with sharp eyes and a good sense of the strike zone. A guy who takes the bad ones and gets lots of wood on the good ones. Now try this one. Real smoking enjoyment. If you want to know what that means, just you light up a Lucky. Why a Lucky? Oh, that's easy, too. A Lucky's a genuine cigarette. All cigarette. All fine tobacco that's toasted to taste even better. Cleaner, fresher, smoother. Yes, sir. Smoking a Lucky is a genuine pleasure. A pleasure you can help yourself to right now. Enjoy the best-tasting cigarette you ever smoked. Well, Jerry, it's the last call for the Chicago Cubs. Top of the ninth. Okay, Levine out to try to hold him back. Goes through the bottom third of the order with Cal Neiman, the catcher, Jack Luttrell, the shortstop, and then the pitcher's spot due up. We'll see what's going to happen. Neiman out. He has gone down on strikes twice and flied out once. Sandy Koufax started and breezed along till he got in trouble in the 8th inning. He'd allowed 1 hit and 2 runs until that time. And then in the 8th, the Cubs tagged him for 3 runs. The big blow home run to Ernie Banks with 2 on. Neiman waits. 9th inning, Levine delivers. The fastball is blown outside. Ball 1. Dodgers 7. Cubs 5. Brooklyn now trying to close them out here in the 9th inning and open the homestand on a happy note. And also gain ground on the Redlegs. A swing and a miss on a fastball. Strike 1. 1-1 count.
Chicago, Turk Lown, continues to throw in the bullpen. 12 strikeouts for Koufax and 8 by Chicago pitchers for a total of 20 tonight. The 1-1 pitch. Curveball is outside. 2-1. Casey Wise throwing a few in the bullpen also to get an arm loose. In case the ball game's prolonged, he might get into action. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Fastball is just a little bit low, ball 3. 3-1 now on catcher Cal Neiman. Dodger bullpen quiet. Levine out trying to make his 7th save of the year. This is his 20th appearance. 3-1 pitch. Fly ball to center field. Snyder moves in a step, comes over to his left 2 or 3 steps, pounds the glove, and makes the grab for the out. Neiman skies to Snyder straight away in center. And before Jack Luttrell comes on, we'll pause for station identification. This is the Brooklyn Dodgers Radio Network.
Dial 1460 WOKO for the Brooklyn Dodgers games and write to WOKO for the complete Dodgers schedule of games at home and away. Yours free for the asking. Be sure to give your name and address. Write Baseball, WOKO, Albany, New York.
Luttrell will not bat. Outfielder Jim Bolger will bat for him. And that's why Wise is warming up in the bullpen. Here's the pitch now. Bolger takes a strike, 0-1. Chicago Cub utility outfielder Jim Bolger batting with 1 out in the 9th, and Levine trying to slam the door in their face. Here's the pitch. Curve low outside, ball 1. 1-1 to Bolger. Poholsky is due up next. But Walt Morin is out in the on-deck circle, swinging a couple of bats. One count. Levine winds and fires. Curveball, nub foul off to the right to the Dodger bat rack. Captain Pee Wee Reese comes out of the dugout to make the play on that one. Pee Wee's still out with that pulled side muscle. 1 ball, 2 strikes on pinch hitter Jim Bolger. Lown has stopped throwing in the bullpen for Chicago now. He's been down there for several innings, so perhaps he's had enough. Umpire Tom Gorman rubs up a new one for Levine, lobs it out to him. Dodgers 7, Cubs 5. We're in the 9th inning. 1 out, none on. Milwaukee now has scored in the 9th and leads the Giants 7-6, top of the 9th. Philly beats Cincinnati 3-1. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Curveball, a fly ball to right field. Samoli coming fast for it. Can't get it. It's a base hit. Bolger on, dunking one into right near the line. A base hit for the Chicago Cubs. That is hit number 5 for Chicago, the first off Levine. And it brings on Walt Morin, another pinch batter. Morin, who swings that bat with a lot of authority, has good power. He's a left-hand batter. So again, the Cubs now send the tying run to the plate, and Pignatano goes out to talk to Levine. And it might be that Joe, rather new in this National League catching business, is going to ask Clem how he wants to pitch to him. So Poholsky is out after working 1 inning, and he got the side out in order. And Morin now, Walt Morin, coming on to bat. Seems like the last time the Cubs were here, Morin belted a home run off Levine to get a tie-up ball game. Grand slammer that time. Here's a curveball for strike 1. That tied the ball game up. We played about 16... No? Played a few, I think. 4-1. Levine delivers. Fastball on the corner for strike 2 to Morin. 10. Not only missed it to 6, Alan. Strike 2 count. Walt Morin pinch hitting for pitcher Tom Poholsky. One out, one on. Ninth inning. Cubs batting. Dodgers lead 7-5. Levine delivers. Curve low for a ball. 1-2. On deck is Bobby Morgan, Chicago's second baseman. Pinch batter Jim Bolger on first. Single to right field with one out. Cubs have 5 hits. Dodgers have 7. Curveball bounced foul off the first base side. Hits the box seat railing and rolls out toward the foul line, and the first base umpire, Hal Dixon, throws it out. 1 ball, 2 strikes on pinch batter Walt Morin. Don Buffett now back to the firing line in the bullpen for the Dodgers. One and two. Here's the pitch. Curveball looped into left field along the line, peeling off, foul, out of play. Morin swinging late, sliced her foul down the left field line. 1 and 2. Dodger infield a bit to the right and double play depth. Neal way wide of third. Zimmer halfway up and over a bit toward second. Gilliam back about normal depth on the right side. And Hodges moving in and out behind the runner at first. 1 and 2. Here's the pitch. Up high for ball. 2-2 now on Walt Morin. Pinch hitter here in the 9th inning. Dodgers 7. Chicago Cubs 5. First game of the series. Tomorrow night they'll be at Jersey City. Thursday night right back here at Ebbets Field. And over the weekend, it'll be Cincinnati. Single games on Friday night and Saturday afternoon, doubleheader Sunday. Here's the pitch. Fastball, high outside, ball 3. And now Levine has worked the count out full in the spot. 3-2 on the hitter, Walt Morin. With 1 out, 1 on. And the Dodger lead 2 runs. So now we'll see how Chicago's going to play it. Bolger at first runs good. Has good speed, and we'll see if they're going to let him go. With the Cubs 2 runs behind, they might play it safe. 3-2. Levine checks. Bolger holding, and the pitch is swung on a liner to center. Snyder coming on fast, can't play it. Base hit, and Bolger goes in and holds at second base. Snyder's throw comes to Zimmer at the cutoff spot, and the Cubs have the tying runs on now with Bobby Morgan coming on. And 2 pinch hitters in a row for Bob Stepping deliver, and the Cubs have 2 on with 1 out, and Bobby Morgan coming on, struck out, flied out, walked and singled, scored twice. And it looks like we're going to have a runner now for Morin, and it'll probably be Wise, an infielder who was running in the who was throwing in the bullpen, and we'll see. Casey Wise coming on to run. And here's a change for the Dodgers now. Carl Furillo is going to right field. Gino Cimoli will go to left field, and out will come Sandy Amaro. So for the defense, Austin makes the change and sends Furillo to right here in the 9th. Into left field goes Cimoli. And a runner at first base for Morin is Casey Wise. All kinds of changes going on in this ball game, far from being over, as the Cubs now have roared back from a 7-0 deficit to a spot where it's 7-5, and they have the tying runs on with 1 out in the 9th, and Levine trying to get him out.
Number 7,
Casey Wise, pinch runner for Morin, who singled to center on the 3-2 pitch. So while all this is going on, let's light up a lucky, lean back, and see what happens. Things getting a bit hectic here at Ebbets Field tonight. Levine ready to work on Morgan, who's 1 for 3. Here's the pitch. Foul ball at the plate, strike 1. Koufax for 5 innings had thrown a no-hitter at the Cubs. Then in the 6th, he walked Morgan, and then Speak hit a home run, the first hit and 2 runs. Then in the 8th, after he struck out the first man, Morgan singled, Speak walked, and Banks hit a home run to make it 7-5. Then after Walls lined out, Ornega doubled, and that brought on Levine. Clem got the third out then, Dale Long, and now got the first out in the ninth, but back-to-back singles to put the Cubs right back in business. The 0-1 pitch. Inside for ball, and the count is 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ninth inning. Dodgers 7, and the Cubs 5. 7 hits for Brooklyn and 6 for Chicago. Here's the look in the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. 1-2. Levine working on Morgan with Bob Speak on deck. The Dodger infield of a play depth. The Giants tied it up in the ninth inning. Boy, what a ball game that one is. 7-7. The runs have been mostly one at a time in that one. Here's the pitch. A pop fly at second base. Gilliam comes in. Infield fly rule is on, and Gilliam makes the play. Morgan is out. He broke his bat. Hit one right off the fist. So there are 2 outs now, and Bob Speak coming on as the last hope for Chicago. But he's had a pretty good night. He walked, flied out, hit a home run, and walked. Scored twice. Speak hitting .250, 1 for 2 tonight. If the Dodgers can hang on and win, they'll move to within 2 games of the top. The Phillies now have moved to within 1 of the top. 1.5, is it? 1.5. All right, left-hand batter, Bob Speak, facing Clem Levine with 2 out, 2 on in the ninth inning. Here's the pitch. Curve strike. 0-1. Fans kind of holding their breath here at Ebbets Field. And for you, well, light up a lucky and let's see. 0-1 on Bob Speak, left-hand batter, hitting in the number 2 spot for Chicago. Here's the check and here's the pitch. Foul ball bounced off to the left of the plate, strike 2. Levine is now 1 strike away from recording his 7th save of the year to give Koufax his 4th win, but that's a mighty big pitch. So let's just wait and see. Strike 2 as Speak steps out now. The Cubs have Bolger at second and Wise at first. Dodgers with a 2-run lead here in the ninth inning. Outfield around to the right, infield also. Waiting as Levine comes set, delivers. Outside with a fastball, 1-2. Clem tried to make him chase a bad one, but Speak wouldn't go for it. 1-2 to Bob Speak. Levine ready again. The 1-2 look. Here's the pitch. Curve, outside, ball 2. Just missed the outside corner. Clem trying to bend one in over that corner, trying to keep the ball away from Speak, keep him from pulling toward that short right field wall. Dodgers 7, Cubs 5, 2 out, 2 on, ninth inning. And a 2-2 count on the batter, Bob Speak. Levine ready. Checks the runners out of a stretch. Delivers. Got him swinging. Down he goes. Strike 3 on a curveball into the hands. Speak is out. The Dodgers win. For Levine, strikeout number 1, and for the Cubs in the ninth. No runs, 2 hits, no errors. They left 2 on. Well, that's the ball game, fans. The final score: the Dodgers 7, the Cubs 5. We'll be back with a final recap of the game in just a moment. But first, here's pretty Miss Dorothy Collins.
Lucky strike, better tasting Lucky Strike. Lucky Strike, it's toasted for the taste you like. Every day more people say that Luckies do taste better. So hurry on down to the shop you like and buy a carton of Lucky Strike. And buy a carton of Lucky Strike.
Well, here are your totals for tonight's Brooklyn Dodger win. For the Dodgers, 7 runs, 7 hits, no errors. They left 6 men on tonight. And the winning pitcher is Sandy Koufax. He went 7 2/3 innings. He's now won 4 times. Twice he has lost. 2 home runs hit tonight for the Dodgers. Snyder had 1 in the 3rd inning, and Hodges had 1 in the 5th inning. For the Chicago Cubs, 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. They left 6 men on here tonight. Their starting pitcher, Dick Drott, is the loser. His record is now 3 wins and 6 losses, and he loses to the Dodgers the first time he faces them. He's 0-1 with them. And as far as the series between these two clubs is concerned, the Cubs have won no ball games, and the Brooklyn Dodgers have won 4. So tomorrow night it'll be Drysdale and Kaiser over at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City for 7:55 airtime. Final score again is the Dodgers 7 and the Cubs 5. We'd like to remind you again that tonight's game, like every Brooklyn Dodger game throughout the season, was brought to you by the F&M Schaefer Brewing Company of Brooklyn, brewers of Schaefer beer, America's oldest lager beer, and by Lucky Strike, the best tasting cigarette you ever smoked. It's made by the American Tobacco Company. Tobacco is our middle name. Remember now to tune us in again tomorrow evening for the game between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Chicago Cubs at Roosevelt Stadium in Jersey City. Final score again here, the Dodgers 7 and the Chicago Cubs 5. And now this is Al Helper on behalf of Jerry Doggett, Vin Scully, speaking for Lucky Strike Cigarettes and Schaefer Beer in cooperation with Sports Network, wishing you all a very pleasant good evening from Ebbets Field.